Welcome to Balls and Brews. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys.
59.
59. God, feels good. Smells good, too.
See the color of this son of a bitch? Look at that.
Juicy. My boys up in Seattle, Elysian Juicy Dust. A juicy IPA, or a hazy, as it were.
It's very juicy in the right as you drink it, but then it very tastes like IPA.
I disagree, bro. I feel like it's got that orange juice like all the way through. I almost get more of an orange juice on the back than the front. The mouthfeel is nice, but as you can see, it doesn't really carry a lot of head. So the body's pretty, medium, but like that juice is right there. 8.2.
See, I get the juice all the way through, but I do get the IPA.
Okay, fair enough.
A little bit eating it.
Trev, where you at?
No, I think I agree with you. It's just that dry hop kind of
Right at the end.
IPA a little bit of.
I mean, it's not. You want that there, right? So
you said it's drinking a what?
Repping 8.2 out of Seattle.
Fucking 8.2.
Sat there. Actually, it was funny that Trev brought this over today. He was like, "Have you had this?" And I was like, "Actually, drink this on tap at the brewery when I was out there last month." So shout out to them. It was a cool brewery. This beer is delicious. I'm gonna take another one while we're still talking about sampling it.
I think I've had this in a mix pack from Elysian before. I think that's where I've had it.
I hadn't seen it before. That's why it caught my eye.
It's a cool can too. Check it out on X and Instagram. It's a cool can. It's got the hop getting like taken down by like an orange peel.
So yeah, the hop is there. That's their logo. The space dust is and then so the haze dust is kind of in an orange wrapped around. It's pretty neat. Yeah, you're right. So you check it out, X and Instagram. We got some other great beers coming up too.
Beer question. So we've been playing some kickball, and so we like to have some brewskis before the game. Now, before the game, some people drink Celsius and some people drink brewskis. Well, not actual brewskis; it's more Coors Light. What do you want to drink before a game, T-Money, if you're playing and having a beer before a game, like running around? And then Chuck, let's talk about the seltzer and beer thing. That's why we do it.
Something light. It's got to be. I don't want a heavy beer for sure. It's got to be an easy drinker, something you can put down. Usually something that's refreshing because usually you're out in warm weather, so you want something to pair well with that.
You want to get right to that rosy cheek level, right? Right where you just get that nice little grinny, like you're just starting to feel it, which is normally for me a seltzer and a half-ish, and I'll do the two because I'm not going to not finish my second one, but 2 seltzers is like perfect. I like the seltzers because of the effervescentness, the lightness of it. I feel like my body can still, my stomach is not heavy.
Yeah, that's
and
the
you
feeling.
have to avoid that. And I hate Coors Light. Fuck, I hate Coors Light. Like I would, at that point, I'm not taking anything. If that's all you have, I'm just drinking air. Like,
A nice cold Coors Light when I'm thirsty after running. I pound it, and then you pound it like that, and then you start to drink the other one, and you already start to feel it. You're like, because you can put one down within like 2 drinks. For me, I do. Super thirsty.
Because, I mean, if you like drinking pee, then you can definitely do it in 2.
Hey, I drink it from the bottom, and I drink it to the top.
You know what? I'm gonna admit something that I've kind of been in my lager game recently. There's some Modelo's in my fridge that I have really been enjoying. Modelo with lime.
You know what I did?
Very much.
I did pick up a 6-pack of Sol the other day.
Okay.
Oh
my God, they're chiladas. Oh my God, I have been.
People say they have the best chelada. I don't drink the chelada because I'm not a.
They are by far the best. I've tried them all because I was curious. I tried the Budweiser. I tried even the Modelo one is not as good. I tried a couple of other. What was the other third one? Not Dos Equis. Corona doesn't have one.
Dos Equis Amber's a good brew.
Dos Equis Amber is a good brew, but I will say that those fucking Sol chiladas. I got one in my fridge. I picked one up on the way home from work today. Like they are so good. They're only drinking 3.2%. So
that makes me think too. I saw a commercial the other day. I know we've all had our Mexican beers with lime.
Sure.
I think it was the Dos Equis had it with salt and lime. Have you ever had a salt lime beer? Yeah.
I love salt and lime.
With beer, I'm a little. I mean, I don't necessarily need that added salt because I don't necessarily want my beer to be.
I'll even put salt in the Coors Light.
electrolytes, you know,
salt and
before,
everything, you know what I'm
before
saying,
you go
brother?
out on the field,
You know
get
what
a
I'm
little bit of that extra sodium.
Everyone gets it done, dude.
That's a former athlete right
That's
there.
wonderful.
Let's get into some
So
other
what-
athletics that are.
What is going on this week in athletics?
Well,
Let's
let's
get it.
roll through. We haven't talked in a couple weeks. Let's roll through our winners of the first round of the playoffs in the NBA. We'll start with the Western Conference. Thunder end up sweeping and get into the second round. They finally lost their first game of the playoffs yesterday, so they're tied 1-1 with the Mavs in the second round. The Thunder beat who did they take down?
They beat, it was what was it, 8 seed they swept them. Well, that doesn't even matter, the West.
Why am I not? Oh, Pelicans.
Yeah.
What the Pelicans need to do to get back is they need to be healthy, and they need to
I
find.
think that is obviously the biggest key.
And I think they need to find another, like, tough guy, like somebody that's not like pushing people around. But Ingram's kind of soft. McCollum's not really driving all the time. If Zion's up there, I think they need another kind of guy that's going to put pressure on like Zion does. When Zion's in, that team opens up the whole floor. When he's not there, they get too shooty. They don't have anybody driving to the basket. They need like a driver, somebody that's going to get in there and get the hard fouls. And their big guy play. I mean, he's Pascal, right? Or
And they have Valanciunas.
he's okay, but I think they need another dude, like another.
I can see
somebody
that.
that's got to get into.
I can see that.
You guys?
No, I'm with you all the way there. I mean, I'd give them Draymond Green if they wanted him.
The Pelicans are one of those stories or one of them teams and franchises, if you will, that like it feels like it's not far away from making sense, like really clicking. It feels like they're maybe a dude away. They really need to work on health. Conditioning and health has been terrible for that franchise now for multiple years. The entire Zion era, unfortunately, has been, I would say, an abject failure due to the idea that I think he's played like 100+ games and like 600 eligible. It's his percentage from played versus not played is ridiculous. And I don't know if it's poor guy because when he fluffs up, you know he's not in the gym working his fucking ass off. He's fluffing up. So like,
he needs to start.
He needs to recenter
He
himself.
needs to get some killer attitude in that blood.
Something because
And
he's
be
got
and be working through something because we saw it.
because he's got it right. No, for sure. I heard about Zion Williamson when he was 14 years old. Before he was even in college, he was on the national radar.
He doesn't pull his hammy or whatever in that game against the Lakers. They beat the Lakers. He was on fire. They weren't stopping
That is
him.
true. He had like 15 or 17 points before he went out.
No, he had like 40.
Oh, it was that late in the game?
Yeah, it was late in the game. He
Shit.
doesn't go down and plays the fourth quarter. They beat the Lakers because the Lakers only won by, 2 or whatever, 3. Zion stays in. Zion was killing him. Absolutely killing him.
Is there anything you do to like help Zion, or is it just
on
in his
him.
hands at
It's
this
on
point?
him.
At this point, he needs to just course correct himself.
100%.
And I don't think it's necessarily out of the realm of possibilities. I do think that he can, but I don't know if he wants to.
Yeah, it's the drive in the off season. Are you out partying and hanging out and
Clearly.
going on vacations? Are you in the gym and putting in the
I
time?
mean, without giving out, stupid
Yeah.
social media bullshit, he was wrapped up with this fucking porn star. Then he was knocking up another chick, and like, it just seems like. Don't get me wrong. I understand that life is difficult, regardless of if you're a professional athlete or elsewise. But like, he just seems like a person, kind of John Moranti, where it's just his head and his thought process are not locked on the things that they need to be.
Yeah, 100%, Charlie. Next series, we got the Clips and the Mavs. Mavs take down the Clips. Thank goodness. I got a little worried there, boys. I'm not gonna lie. I got a little worried.
Well, when Kawhi sat out the last 3,
Dude,
it was
I'm
just
so
like.
done. Are you guys done with that dude?
I mean, I'm not done with him. He's not like a shit lister. I like Kawhi a lot, but like, I don't know how you can't lean on him.
You can't count on him
Yeah,
at all.
exactly.
Like that would be hard to pay on a roster. I feel like if
Oh, at the 30 million mark or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
For this team, I don't even know what. I mean, for the Clips to
They need
get
to
back
get
here.
younger. No, they're fucked. They
Yeah.
traded everything for Paul George. They have no equity, and they're old as fuck. This franchise, it's Ballmer. I'm sorry, dude. I get that you went the all-in approach. It didn't work. You're getting this brand new stadium, and you're gonna win 20 games next year, bro. Like, You are going to enter the dark ages. If you look across the narrative of all professional sports, this is how you load up on old guys, and if it doesn't work and you have no young talent to supplement that, nor draft picks in the upcoming, they have no draft picks for like 6 years, dude.
It's like the
It's
Lakers and the
insane.
Suns.
It's absolutely insane. Like they
I got a question after the first round for you guys.
okay.
Well, and the Mavs, we got to give credit there. It's starting to look like Luka playing a little defense. Kyrie has kind of been playing his role. That team,
Luka got to get healthy though. That knee is going to be a big issue in this series if he doesn't get right.
yeah, they
Looks
got
better last game.
they 1-1 right now against the Thunder. So that's what. So they're playing the Thunder in the second round. It's 1-1. Hopefully, Thunder get the dub. I know Chuck's. Are you rooting for the? Like honestly, are you rooting for the Mavs? Yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody against the Thunder. Literally 29 other teams. I have my individual hate for a lot of other franchises, but none like
I can
the
understand.
passion that is the hellfire that I hate the Thunder with.
I do like watching them play basketball.
Why you still put the Thunder in your bracket?
I know I would have never done
Because
that.
I didn't want to wear a fucking Raiders hat, but it's
Yeah,
looking
my
like
hat
it's going
anyway.
down that route anyway.
The next team, which I picked the Suns, I was listening to shit and shouldn't have, and the Timberwolves absolutely beat the piss out of them.
What?
The Suns are done. There's nothing they can do. They need to
They're-
blow it up.
They're in the LA.
They fired Vogel. They
Right.
just hired Budenholzer today.
Oh, I did not see that.
They
Okay.
did.
Okay.
They're fucked. They have no draft picks. They have no depth. That was the one thing we talked about. Bill played a third of the season, and he is $30 million.
Yeah, he's worse than Kawhi.
At least the 2 out of the 3. Now Durant's a little older, but at least 2 out of their 3 that they have under contract for buku contracts are younger. The difference between the Clippers and the Suns, all of the Clippers superstars are old. Russell Westbrook is year 13, 14.
I don't think he's
Paul
signed for
George
next year,
is
though.
year 12 or 11 or 12.
But
James
at least-
Harden is 12 or 11 or 12.
But at least they have Paul George. I mean, with the Suns, that's $150 million between those 3 players, and you can't move off. Like, I don't think teams are gonna want Beal.
Nobody wants Beal.
Nobody's going to touch Beal.
The only person that they'd want would be
It'd
Book.
be
I don't
Book,
know how
yeah.
many people are going to want Kevin Durant. Like, I don't know.
There would be a market for him, but Booker is the market. 29 other teams would shop for Booker for sure.
Yeah, the one young player they have.
And then
That's the recent Kobe prototype outside of the Mamba mentality.
he's a good scorer, but not. He works defensively, but he's not a great defender. And I think when Booker can get locked up. Booker's not a stellar athlete. So if Booker goes up against a pretty good defender, there are times where Booker can get locked up by a better defense, by a more athletic person. Because Book's good, but if Book goes up against an athletic guard, he has trouble. I think. You guys,
Yeah, no, it's shown that in the past for sure.
especially against who covered him? Jalen? Is it Jalen Williams and the T Wolves locked him down? Is that? Am I getting that name right?
I can't say you're wrong. I can't speak on it, to be fair.
He locked him up, and he's an
The
athletic guard.
Timberwolves in general have played magnificent defense, dude. It has been. That's why they're up 2-0 on the. Yeah,
They're long, dude.
we talked about the Nuggets running into the T-Wolves, and with
That
the
would be-
length on both sides, that it was going to be a competitive matchup. And I heard it was a Nuggets reporter. I was listening to ESPN on the way home a couple of days ago, and he said it perfectly. He was like, I don't see the starvation or the hunger in Denver that I do in Minnesota. Minnesota knows that they've been on the brink of something excellent for a while. And Anthony Edwards is not missing his fucking opportunity right now. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of the series left to play, but they did it 2-0 in Denver.
Yeah.
They have the next 2 games in Minnesota now. So, I mean, you really like them at least getting one. At least getting one, right? Yeah.
You would hope out of a team that's that good, even though we got a little bit to talk about when we get to that next thing. But we'll get into it. Right. So Nuggets beat the Lakers. Lakers up by at least 10 points every game. Not great coaching and just not really having that third scorer. Rui disappeared at points, and D'Lo disappeared at points, and Austin Reeves isn't a 3. He is a solid 4. Lakers need to not necessarily sell the farm to get somebody that's a 3, but they need a 3, and they need a 3 bad. And then their bench that we thought was good, the Reddish, the Gabe Vincents, none of it worked out.
Well, unless you're going to draft Bronny this year, LeBron's going to option out of his fucking player contract and go somewhere else.
Paul George come play with AD. That's cool.
How are you going to get Paul George? He's the only one under contract.
I don't think so. I think he's
out. So him and Westbrook are up?
Westbrook's up for sure. And Paul might
and
be on
Harden is too. I know Harden is.
Paul might be on a player option.
Okay.
I don't know. Because people have been talking about Paul George going other places.
So
too.
honestly, if you're LA, like you don't, or if you're the Clippers anyway, you don't come out and say you want this to happen, but you're really okay with everybody leaving. You honestly, yeah, you hope nobody options in, and everybody either contracts are up or options out, and you rebuild.
So I told Chuck when we were watching the game the other night, this crazy idea that I would pitch if I was a Lakers GM. You ready for it, T-Money?
Let's hear it.
I would trade LeBron James to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Donovan Mitchell and whatever else we got to do to even out like money, so the Cleveland Cavaliers could have draft Bronny, and Bronny and LeBron could play for the hometown Cleveland Cavaliers and be all cool, and then we could bring D-Mitch in and then have a little bit more to go get somebody else, and then I'd be cool. I'd be back to being like a hella hardcore Laker fan.
I mean, that's coming on LeBron wanting to go back to Cleveland, and I understand the whole home angle, but
it's just a
him
crazy
and
idea.
the owner do not like each
It's just
other.
a crazy idea, brother. I just want D-Mitch to come play with my team.
I mean, yeah, I understand that. Mitchell is looking great.
And
He's been great all playoffs.
Both of the LA teams have a lot of work to do this offseason.
Okay, so here's my question for the end of the Western Conference. Who's in the worst position, the Lakers, Suns, or Clippers?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would have to say for me, I think it's probably the Suns because they're the most hamstrung in the fact of LA doesn't like LA. Here's the thing about, I guess, Clippers. I got a distinct. I think the Lakers will find a way to at least figure it out to stay competitive. I think the other two teams are really screwed. Like, I think you tear it all down if you're the Clippers, even though you're going into a new stadium, and obviously when that happens, and rebranding, you want to bring your best foot forward. I understand that you want to, but it's not going to happen. It's just not. The way that you have, positioned yourself with these draft picks that you don't have. They traded 6 draft picks alone for Paul George. 3 firsts and 3 seconds. They have nothing. Nothing. That was one deal. Like, it's insane. So, and then, like you said, we're hamstrung to the guys in Phoenix, really. Beal, nobody's going to touch Beal. You're not trading Booker. That franchise is not doing that. And Durant isn't going anywhere.
Durant's so not a leader.
Right. So then you have the Lakers who are searching for a new coach, right? Because they fired Ham. And but that roster is not broken. They need to get healthy, and they need to get a third piece.
You need a third.
But that's okay. But still, that is not that crazy of a need versus like what the Clippers are going to need next season or the Suns are going to need.
It's just, and then So let's.
No, you're Trev.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, you're good because
I'm sorry. I definitely rambled on that.
You said so much. Just I feel as you do though that the Suns are the most hamstrung with those 3 players. Like you want to move off of Beal.
He said Clips were the most hamstrung.
No, I did say that the Suns are the most, but the Clips. I think if you're rating them, it's Lakers, Suns, Clippers. If I'm going 1, 2, 3, best to worst going into next year with their conditions.
Lakers, Suns, Clippers?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I still think that with those 3, you still have an insane amount of talent. If they can click, they get another off season to maybe figure it out. So I'm not going to necessarily discredit that. They just won't have depth behind them.
Grayson Allen will be back.
He played well. He busted that ankle, but he played well.
He was a huge part of that team having that run at the end. Yeah. So let's touch real quick on we touched already on Thunder's Mavs 1-1. T-Wolves are up 2-0. We touched on that. We got to touch on something else happening in that game. Jamal Murray throws out that fucking thing in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fucking soft, dude. That's super soft. What the fuck are you doing that shit?
I mean, obviously he's frustrated, but it is really dumb. It's like, why? It's a child's move.
He was getting owned that game. The Minnesota defense was suffocating. He had like He was like 1 for 8, and he had like 7 points
Well,
at the time that he did that.
They've been like full court pressure.
Right,
Man.
no, I
And
know.
they're more athletic.
They're-
80 on him.
They're getting
wings on
maybe
him.
he's a DK. Maybe once you get inside his head, you rattle him a little bit. I don't fucking know, but I mean, like that's what
It's
happened.
soft.
They rattled his ass bad. He's used to scoring 25 points a game, getting 7 dimes, being the guy, you know. And they've been giving him 9 points and 2. Like
So can we have a sidebar?
sidebar.
I think we have kind of praised Adam Silver as being a pretty good commissioner.
Overall, he has been.
The last 2 incidents
Sure.
with Jamal Murray throwing was like a heating pack or
That's
something
what they called it. Yes.
onto the floor, and then Patrick Beverly throwing not 1 but 2 basketballs up in the stands and hitting people in the face. Jamal Murray not getting any kind of suspension at all.
You got a $100K fine.
With players, imagine if somebody was stepped and slipped and fallen. You can't just suspend because they got hurt. You have to suspend for action, right? Like if somebody got hurt, does he get suspended then?
You say that, but I think if someone gets hurt, it's a heavier suspension.
Chucky, you suspend all the or Chuck, if you're commissioner, are you suspending Jamal Murray?
Off of what happened. Off of clearly what happened.
Off
Not the what ifs.
Not what ifs. Are you suspended?
I don't know, man. You know that he didn't want to suspend him because it's the playoffs, and maybe he could give him a suspension at the beginning of next season. But
Adam Silver's softer. You suspend him, T.
I mean, he probably should have.
No, Trev. What is Southwick? What is the Commissioner Southwick?
Commissioner South.
What is he doing?
Commissioner Southwick suspended him because I don't give a fuck.
Charlie?
Let's go.
Charlie?
No, Roscoe's coming down with the hammer, dude. He at least gets a game. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know what you just did?
I'm suspending 1 game.
It's because of what I love. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. The implications of what an ankle. If you roll an ankle on that, whether you could be your own teammate, you could have rolled Jokic's ankle. Like, how fucking crazy would that have been if you impaired the fucking MVP from helping you win the series because you got frustrated?
That would be crazy. But I think.
I mean, that'd be karma in its fullest degree. But
but I think I think we all kind of saw this coming, though. Silver has kind of been that guy that's not gonna be that heavy-handed.
he doesn't want to affect the ratings. The playoff ratings
Exactly.
have soared.
Okay.
These playoffs have been wonderful.
That's what he's looking at. He's just looking at those numbers.
Okay, number 2. Patrick Beverly drops 2 fans in the fucking basketball. Gets a 4-game suspension.
At the start of the next year, because Minnesota, he's
No matter who he plays for, he's getting 4.
Yeah, because he
Well, no,
might
he
not be
was
back
on,
with us.
it wasn't Minnesota. Who was he with? He was with a team that got eliminated.
The Bucks.
That's it. Milwaukee. Yes, correct. They got beat by the
I'm
Knicks.
suspending him for at least 24, 25. I want like quarter of the season. You can't be throwing
How
balls
on
in the
earth?
stands.
How on earth after the first one do you let the second one happen? The first one, okay.
Who gives him back the fucking
That's
basketball?
what
Give
I'm
him back the
saying.
ball.
The first one you can't control because you're not around him. You didn't know that was going to happen. But after that, I'm putting him in a chokehold and I'm removing him to the locker room and then stuffing him in the locker the rest of the fucking warm up. Like,
Dude,
what are we
2.
talking about?
2.
And only 4 games. That is
4
soft.
fucking games.
That's
dude.
trash. That means that's a drop in the bucket of an NBA game. Guys miss way more on Zion's missed more on injury than that suspension. Are you fucking kidding me?
Rodman
Like,
missed more on fucking hookers than that.
hey,
Come on.
and he also won chips. So I mean, fuck.
That one, I feel, definitely deserves more.
Like a
than
4 game.
That is blatant.
It should
That
be like
is-
it should be a quarter of the season
And
or
that's not
something.
even, how's that? Okay, the difference between the 2 actions, like
Is one against another player or whatever. But
One-
you're hitting
one-
a fan. An innocent bystander.
Twice.
Twice.
One is frustration. Twice is a choice.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's very different.
And then pushes the chick's microphone out of the way because she doesn't subscribe to his podcast.
I've never been I like his
I don't.
scrappiness, but like that
Never
off the
liked
court shit is trash, dude.
No.
We get better, be better.
Let's jump to the Eastern Conference Finals. I have no beer left.
Uh-huh.
The Celtics end up smashing. Did they play the Bulls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait,
No.
it was the Heat.
They played
Yeah,
the Heat.
it's a-
He
yeah,
got
4-1.
He,
4-1.
he got one with that 23
For the
games.
gentleman sweep. I love that term.
The Heat aren't going to be any better until they get a number two. Bam's a 2, but he's not a great 2. Jimmy carries them in the playoffs. Heat are a weird team. I don't really. They need somebody. They need somebody else.
I think they need to move off of Tyler Hero and get what they can and bring in somebody else for sure.
It's a very odd structure. They play hard. Heat culture. I love those unis. Makes a lot of sense. Spoelstra has been a great coach for that franchise for many years.
Spoelstra.
There's an ethic down in Miami that has been there. Even Pat Riley years back to then with Lonzo Mourning.
Even if you could, because after Butler's latest comments, even if you could keep Bam and then get stuff for Butler, but like young pieces, that would be like I think maybe the way you
Butler,
get.
Hero.
Yeah, not Butler. Not
Yeah.
Hero. Butler. Like if you because Jimmy
Bam and trade
because
Butler.
because they just made
that's how you would get the biggest return. But that's your number one.
He is, but what his latest comments about like wanting to be paid and stuff. Did you hear? He had made those comments, and then Pat Riley said, "Well, you got to be around to get paid."
Yeah, those comments by Pat Riley, like, okay, I kind of respect it because
nobody says that shit anymore.
Nobody does, but at the same time, well, yeah, exactly. He's been
OG.
Thug.
He's putting his nuts on the table. Like
Knicks,
he gives
Lakers.
no fucks. Yeah.
How many
At-
fucking chips is
At
that
the
for?
dynasty of all of them, for sure.
Yeah,
like,
how many chips is that for?
He didn't get any with the Knicks, but he got multiple with the Lakers and the Heat.
Dude.
That's stud for sure.
OG Thug. Okay, so next series is Cavs Magic, one of the better series. Underrated. Is the Magic the next Thunder?
I think they could be. I think.
Well, they don't have the capital, the draft capital that.
But if they could make one move with what they have, do they become like that team that goes from what they're a 5 now? Do they jump up to the 3 or whatever, depending on what Cavs and Bucks happen and Knicks? I mean, can they make that jump?
I mean, with the team that they have, I would think somebody would want to play with those players because it is a good team. Orlando hasn't been a destination.
I know.
I don't think Klay Thompson is the answer. I think if they were able to pull off a Donovan Mitchell, that would be, now we're competing for the East because they're that kind of player away, I feel like.
They are. I totally agree, T. I don't want to see that, but that dude with him and
a reverse Kevin Durant, instead of going to the team that beats you, go to the team that you beat and you put him over the top. That would be something.
I think it depends on what happens in this Cleveland series with Boston. Now, do I think that Cleveland will win? No, but
is Cleveland that dude away too? I guess since we're talking about it, is Cleveland that dude away too? Like they have Mobley looked good the other night. Donovan Mitchell is a killer.
Jared Allen unfortunately is hurt. No, they have a squad in Cleveland. Let's not get it confused, man.
I've liked them for a while. I don't know if Mobley's gonna ever turn into the scorer. Maybe he's more of the Gobert than the
length cannot be taught. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I totally agree.
He's not putting up on the offensive end. Like what he brings on the defensive end
and rebounding, dude. He's a stud.
Exactly.
I just wanted him to. I really wanted him to be the dude that became.
Oh, I get that. The Jokic, who could also give you 40 every now and again.
And he's gonna give you 20 here and there, but most of the time he's gonna give you that 12 to 15.
12. Yeah.
You know, but he's gonna have like 10 rebounds. He's gonna have 3 or 4 blocks, and he's also gonna have adjusted shots.
Thank you.
Adjusted
That's
shots.
where I was going. He's going to change the paint. Whenever you have a player who can change the paint, then, and by paint I mean the interior of the floor. It's inside the free throw line.
Are you saying he's a painter, or
I'm saying he's good at keeping people not painting in his area. Like you have to have that guy. It's crazy because the game has gone away from the big man, but let me tell you something.
The big man's so proper.
When you find the right one, he is the dude.
AD, all these dudes.
Embiid, Jokic, Jokic isn't necessarily, he doesn't have to put out insane effort on the defensive end because just his presence alone changes things.
So let's jump to the next series. Bucks, Pacers. Pacers get the basically gentleman's sweep. They smoked those fools.
Well, it was injuries, dude. It
Um,
just caught up to Milwaukee with Dame going down. You're not gonna win.
Is it going to be any different?
next year with the same roster, you don't have. You're just getting another year
I want
older.
that same roster. Yeah, no, absolutely, no. That roster can do it.
I still look for an upgrade over Middleton.
I think Middleton needs to go, and you try to get pieces to fill in younger wise. You need something else.
Middleton's a champ, dude. I keep him. I keep him.
I mean,
What are you doing?
GM Roscoe is running full steam ahead. We just need to get
No changes.
I'm completely okay with my roster. We'll listen. I'll take phone calls and I'll do a little jiggle and wiggle, but I'm not making any drastic fucking.
I need to get.
moves.
I need to get a better 2 guard if I'm going to have Dame be my point. I need somebody defensively. Their back end was awful
that's
defensively.
what I would look for.
And
really.
then I need, Portis is awesome, and we like the other twin, and Giannis is healthy. That's nice, but I definitely back it, and I need something else coming off the bench. Totally something else off the bench.
So that's negotiable, whether it be in the draft or like.
I don't know if they have any picks, Holmes.
Oh, that's true. They did move up or move a lot for Dame, so that is true. I'd have to
you
look
got
into
three
that
moves
before.
They're kind of in the shit list of picks. All these teams with all these
That's
multiple
bonkers.
superstars.
It's
are in
crazy
the
to
shit
think
list
that
of
we're
picks.
going in the next 2 to 3 seasons where there's going to be like 4 or 5 teams that have just bonkers amount of draft
The
picks.
NBA draft's so
Thunder.
fucking hard
It
to
sucks.
figure out.
It sucks
We tried to
because
look it up one time to figure out if the Thunders had 300
they
picks.
have
and
to
it's like,
they have to default 2 of their next picks. They can't have they
It's
they
so
acquired 4 first round picks in this upcoming draft, and they're only going to get to choose 2.
I think.
We gotta look into that again. That
No,
was
they
weird.
have to. They literally it said they have to sacrifice, or what was the word that it used? It was not. It was a submissive word. They don't get to use it. They just have to gift a fucking couple of picks. Like, why would you ever let a team obtain things that they can't use?
Because the NFL draft's weird. Or the NBA draft's weird.
Get hard, Adam Silver.
So soft. Last series, Knicks versus 76ers. Knicks are just
whiffed on that one.
are just a fucking hard-nosed team getting it done. Gotta give Chucky some praise on Brunson being an absolute stud, a killer. He's up there with AE right now and just being killers on the court.
He's
76ers
carrying these playoffs. Right now.
76ers
He's a storyline for sure.
76ers, Maxey just balling the fuck out, but it's only him and Embiid on the roster next year. That roster needs an overhaul.
My
Question, real quick: who have you heard more about, Jason Tatum or Jalen Brunson in this playoff?
Jason Tatum's not a killer, dude. We
Awesome.
already talked about that. We know that.
Okay, well, what I'm trying to say though was
Well,
like,
the Celtics haven't really been talked about because the games haven't been close.
well, because as a team, they're by far the best.
Porzingis is hurt though. That's big. He's not coming back for this series at least, right?
Right.
So that actually hurts size.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sidebar you. What was your question? We were talking
What was my
about.
question?
It was about the defeated team.
Maxey and 76ers are Maxey and Embiid are the only 2 dudes on the roster, I think. Of the Tobias Harris is no longer on the roster.
On the roster before, so.
Dude, how does Tobias Harris have 0 points in the final game and Kyle Lowry? That's fucking awful.
Yeah, that's big disappointment there for sure.
How cool is it to see Maxey's development?
We already kind of saw it within the last little bit. It's really nice without the Harden element, and it's really nice that Embiid understands that having a good guard makes him better as well. So I think the 2 of them, if Embiid comes back healthy and they have a full season to build off of both of them being at 100% and knowing that they're the dudes, the facilitation or the faculty around them putting in the pieces, and because I think Philly's totally fine with draft picks. And I don't think the only people that they're literally only paying Embiid. I think they have a lot more flexibility than a lot of these other teams, right?
Well, Max is got to get him a new contract.
Yeah,
Sure.
He's getting fucking
Sure.
Max,
Okay.
dude. He's a stud.
So you're getting 2 guys under contract then. So
Yeah.
that's the other
with
team.
draft picks and some more other cap room.
That's the Paul George team. That's the team I heard Paul George. Somebody floated out, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
But then
Could
once
be.
again, you're doing in that Lincoln to old, and then
But how
putting
many-
a lot of money in.
But how much tread on the tires, as they say, does Embiid have left? He's hurt every fucking
He has been. He
year.
has been.
He
It's true.
can't be the one, dude. He's got to be like maybe. I know he's a 1, but he needs another like kind of 1-ish maybe Maxey becomes the other one. They need another.
This year was a little freaky, and the what happened with him this year. I don't know if I put a lot of stock into that. I think Embiid's a fucking animal, an absolute animal.
I do too. I just worried. I almost don't want him to be able to win MVPs because I want him to be healthy for the playoffs. So I almost want to load manage him throughout the season.
They might have to start doing that.
We're about to end the third quarter, so let's jump into the second round. We've already talked Celtics Cavs 1-1. Do you think? And I didn't think about this. Do you think the Cavs are going to be able to give the Celtics a game because of length, because of the Porzingis injury, and
if D Mitch gets hot and he can, if the paint is guarded okay. Let me.
Do you think they have a puncher's chance?
Yes, but if Boston lights it up from outside the three, then Cleveland's not going to have a shot.
I agree.
That's really what it comes down to. They were flat in their shot game 2, and they lost. If they find that stroke, if Derek White still continues to be a good 3, if Jaylen Brown finds a shot for a game, and if Tatum has what he can do, the 3 of them will carry them over Cleveland fairly easily.
That point you just made about if they find their shot, it's so true, but it's so stupid. That fucking team should be driving. They have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They should be fucking taking it to the goddamn hole and get to the free throw line. They shouldn't be shooting. These teams that shoot so many jumpers like Tatum and Brown, it drives me fucking insane. I understand Steph is a different animal. There's other dudes that are different animals. Look at what the fuck Brunson's doing, and AE's also a different animal too. He's a fucking killer with Brunson. Get to the fucking hole. Get to the free throw line. These 2 dudes, those 2 dudes in general, we've talked about it last year, and we're talking about it again. When they start jacking up shots, they don't win. Last year they lost. They should have won last year. Those 2 dudes fucking drive me insane.
But this is something that the Celtics have done, and I feel like the Cavs take maybe 1, maybe 2 more. Just
they got
because
one more
is what I'm talking about. 3 at most is all I could see them winning. I really only think they get 1 more, and that's only because of the defense they play, given the Celtics' problems at times. Really, this shouldn't be as close as it is, but the Celtics, again, since Porzingis is out, maybe since they don't have that killer mentality, that it just goes longer than we think.
Charlie, anything? No.
No, you've heard my points. I'm not going to give you another 10 minutes of the same topic.
God, it does, and I hate the Celtics, but it fucking drives me insane with those 2. Pacers, Knicks 2-0. Knicks up 2-0. Knicks are just they're just fucking injured right now, and they're just playing hard-nosed basketball. It's so hard not to root for that team if you're just. I can't find myself not rooting for them right now. OG's hurt tonight, right? Do I always call him OE? And OG's hurt tonight. Right now, it's about.
What does OE stand for?
I don't know, dude.
Old English.
I'm taking over.
It's about to end the third quarter. Knicks up 90-85. It's in Indiana. They go up 3-0.
All right.
Maybe come up 3-0. I'm not. We still got fourth quarter, but.
It's just the whole quarter of the game. No,
I'm just saying 90-85 Knicks are up. Looking to go up 3-0.
Yeah, they were down before. They're up now. I just they keep
DiVincenzo 32 3/4.
Oh man, I miss that guy.
You've been high on him too. And Chuck's been high on Robinson. We got some great calls around here.
Just with the Knicks though, what are you gonna do with Randall?
Dude, if he's here, this is not even a series. Literally in the 76ers game, maybe not a series too. His offensive presence, Brunson gets a little bit of a breather. Maybe Josh Hart gets a fucking breather. Guy only misses a minute of every game, or average a minute. We don't even know if that's true. He played the last 2 games full. So fuck, man.
You just run it back though, the way Brunson's been playing,
yeah, and I think
Randall, maybe that's the difference.
And I think you're hoping somebody wants to come up and play.
I mean, I think that could happen too.
Somebody wants to come and play now with Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's get up there. Get one more dude up there. I think that's the kind of the. Charlie? I see you over there thinking. I see you thinking.
What I heard was that Tibbs got voted as the least favorite coach.
Because he works them too hard, man. That's why the Timberwolves didn't like him.
Well, yeah, because your starters are out there 46 to 48.
Well,
That's a fucking.
I think that's bullshit. They're conditioned to play. Injuries are going to happen. He's not running guys hard in practice when the guys are hurt and his team's shorthanded.
Sure.
But during the season, he's conditioning the players on his team for the playoffs.
It was the Bulls, not the Timberwolves.
No, he went to the Timberwolves after the Bulls. That's why Jimmy Butler went there. Oh, I know.
Brief stint.
Brief stint, they didn't like him. Hey, Cat didn't like Cat didn't like him. Jimmy Butler. That's why Jimmy Butler went to the Timberwolves from the Bulls to play with Tibbs.
I mean, he seems like an alien guy, though.
Just hitting home runs, brother. Just knocking them out of the park.
Maybe when the Sonics come back to fucking Seattle, I'll give a shit.
So that's where we're at with the NBA playoffs. Our bet is pretty close right now. We'll update it after the Knicks series because that's kind of the series that kind of closes out. Oh yeah, because I'm not giving anything easy. Like
3 in a row.
Let's jump into the NHL playoffs. Dallas ended up taking out Vegas after a 2-0 series. Dude, we played like shit in game 3 and 4. It's awful. Dallas and then Winnipeg and Colorado. Colorado took out Winnipeg. So Colorado and Dallas are 1-1 right now.
We're not going to give you the breakdown of what the teams need because, to be fair, we don't really know.
We need to stay healthy.
Well, everybody does.
Vancouver, Nashville.
And by we means the Knights.
Yeah, I just don't have my shit on today. The Vancouver Canucks and against the Nashville Predators. The Canucks move on in that series. And Edmonton Oilers and Los Angeles Kings. Oilers move on. And right now, Canucks are up 1-0. Game is tonight. I don't think the game has started. That second game is tonight. The other game that was going on is the Florida Panthers against the Boston Bruins. But Florida swept. No, they didn't sweep. They had a close series against Tampa. Oh, no, they swept Tampa Bay to move on. And then Boston had a close series with the Maple Leafs to move on. But right now, Florida and Boston 1-1. Dude, Rangers sweep the fucking Caps. And then the Hurricanes sweep the New Jersey Islanders. And right now, the Rangers are up 3-0 on the fucking Canes, bro.
Well, and I want to put some respect on them. It's the New York Islanders, not the New Jersey Islanders.
They play in Jersey.
They don't.
Oh, they don't?
No.
Where are they playing? They playing?
No, okay, so actually there's a great 30 for 30 about this because the New York Islanders are the last franchise to win 4 in a row, and they did it in the late 80s, and it was a fucking incredible run. And New York had a lot of pride because they actually played out in Staten Island, the New York Islanders,
Okay.
and then they moved to mainland, and they play in, I believe it's Brooklyn now. And
Thanks,
there
Charlie.
were a lot of old heads that were like, "This is fucked, man. We're called the Islanders for a goddamn reason."
Florida's up 3-0.
Oh,
End of the second. You say one more
Okay,
player. One more player.
so is it
1-1.
1-1? Okay, all right. So yeah, I know that you've been saying for a while that you want to see Madison Square go up,
And it's
so
been
you wanna
going
see
up,
the
dude.
Rangers and the Knicks keep moving on.
I'm super pulling for the Knicks right now in the East. Obviously, I fucking can't stand the Celtics, even though the colors I like. Can't stand that fucking team. Just because of the bloodlines. Also, yeah, so I'm totally rooting for the fucking. And then I don't know if I want a Canadian team to win. I'm definitely not rooting for fucking Dallas.
I mean, at this point, the NHL, we'll watch the Stanley Cup, but there's really no polling preference for any.
Dude, I literally sat there every game, was on the edge of my seat, cussing, fucking screaming, and
We
throwing
watched,
shit.
yeah, when you and I and Donnie watched that game,
Yeah.
Game 6 was great. Yeah, where Vegas took it, but then you couldn't get it done Game 7. It was okay.
Yeah, fuck that. Ain't okay. You might wear a Knights hat too. So we're gonna take a break. Come back with some hella draft shit in the second segment. We're gonna break some draft stuff down, boys. It was so fun. I'll tell you what, that was fun, wasn't it?
Well, I think that there's a lot to comment on the draft as we only went over the first round in our last pod, and there's a lot more that we want to cover and give a full recap as we did not record an episode last week. So there's a little bit of a gap, but we definitely need to touch on it.
We got lots of thoughts.
Lots to say.
Welcome back to Balls and Brews. Your second segment's going to be a draft segment.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, gentlemen.
You can tell the difference in the... Look at this brewski. It's nice. It's got a, like... I can't wait to have it. Color-wise, it's cool.
Grapefruity.
Love it. Grapefruit infused IPA by Brewdog. Okay, so we've had a mixed pack of theirs.
Like that.
That's wonderful.
God, it finishes delicious.
I know, and it drinks at a 6.5. It drinks at a 6.5. Real nice.
It's gone.
They are out of Winchester, Ohio, so they're Midwesters. So they're probably fucking Buckeye fans, which, you know, that sucks. But really good fucking beer. The grapefruit is right up front, and to be fair, it looks.
It finishes good too.
It looks more like an amber almost than it does.
That's what
an
I was
IPA.
saying about the color.
No, it's way deeper. So
is it because of the infusion of the grapefruit that it's got that color?
No, I don't necessarily think so, because I've had grapefruit IPAs that are more the traditional golden. This is this is very.
You guys got the sediment
amber
too?
Yeah.
Very, very amber.
You get that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I do have a little bit down there. Hey now. This is a fucking Brewdog shout, man. Everything I've drank by you has been pretty fucking tasty.
That's delicious. All right.
Easy drinker.
We got some sweet draft shit to get into.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go in alphabetical order. So, Charlie, why don't you start with the Arizona Cardinals out of the NFC West?
Yeah, so, okay, first I want to say I think the entire NFC West had some pretty good fucking drafts overall. Like, even though the Niners are questioned, they always find talent in the draft. So you can give them an immediate grade that's meh, but you always got to wait a couple of years. But overall, the snapshot for the NFC West I thought was very good. The Cardinals had a glut of picks, you guys. They had like 11, I believe, because they didn't even need to move or shake to get most of their draft picks. They had 12. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so stick it and pick it at 4. At Mr. Marvin Harrison Jr. Super smart call, I think.
Yep.
You're finally saying, Kyler, this is the dude.
We got you a real dude.
A real dude.
Because not that D-Hop wasn't the dude, but he was definitely, you know, older when he was even working with him. Like, Christian Kirk has played better in Jacksonville, but wasn't a WR1.
Yeah.
Like, so this is he was rated as the best non-QB prospect in the draft. So
On some boards.
And with their second pick, Darius Robinson, like, I think a lot of teams were targeting him. Like, I think
I know you were high on him.
I think I'm talking about the NFC West in particular. I think not your team as much because you guys picked higher, but the later teams, I think the Rams were looking at him.
Yep.
I think my team was looking at him.
Sure.
Cardinals got him.
An absolute home run in the first two. You can put it. We're going to go over a lot of first two picks. An absolute home run in the first two. Charlie, what did they do at 3 and 4? And then after that,
I was going to say So let's highlight. I think probably the ones that we really are going to be of benefit. To be fair, I think the Trey Benson in the 4th round was a good move. In the 3rd round, second pick of the 3rd round. Yeah, I think that could be really because Connor is a good back, but he's not the do-it-all back anymore. So having a guy that can come in and catch the passes and be the 3rd down guy, the little, you know.
And with his style, you definitely want that 1-2 guy.
1,000%. Have a bruiser and a scat back. It's a perfect setup. So I think that plays very well. Xavier Thomas in the 5th round out of Clemson, I think, is going to be sneaky for them. They went back into the O-line as well and got Christian Jones out of Texas for the offensive tackle.
Don't skip over pick number 11 in the 2nd round, Max Melton. He's going to be a stud corner, I think.
Probably a starting corner.
He is a starting corner.
Well, there you go. So
that's what I'm saying. If you look at the first 4 picks of their draft, you could almost say they got 4 straight starters.
And they were scrappy as fuck last year. I think Jonathan Gannon, we were kind of questioning what was going to happen coaching-wise, and I think he really dialed it in. He brought a game plan and a fierceness to that defense that we didn't think they would have. They were competitive,
they played tough.
even without Kyler Murray.
And when you can say that they have 4, you think they can have 4 starters
out of the first 4 picks, that's huge.
That's a dub.
Absolutely.
And we're not going to go A, B's, C's, and D's. We're
No.
going to say wins, losses, or just kind of down the middle. I
Thumbs
think the
up.
Vikings got.
I'm just going to go thumbs up. Yeah,
I'll give them.
absolutely.
So I think all of us give the
Absolute
Cardinals
thumbs
a thumb up.
Yeah.
Team Money, let's take maybe a draft that's a little more questioned with the Atlanta.
Well, definitely the first fucking pick.
Well,
And I think the second pick is too. I think go for it, T.
So the Falcons, of course, Penix, probably the most questioned draft pick of the draft. Team building wise, it doesn't make sense, but if he turns out to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league,
especially after the report comes out that the Vikings actually went to Cousins and said, "Hey, if we sign you, we're still taking a quarterback at 11." And Cousins was like, never mind then. And then went to Atlanta, and that's why he was so shocked, is because I think he might have said something to him like, "Hey, I'm coming down here to be like your starter. You guys taking a quarterback?" And maybe they told him no, and they took one.
They definitely seemed like they were late to the party on deciding on Penix. They did not scout him properly early on at all.
You could have used $100 million to sign Hunter, or went after my guy Christian Wilkins. You could have done something else. Allocate your resources, as Chris Sims, I'm giving him a shout. He said allocation of resources was awful with that pick by paying $100 million and using a number 8 overall pick. Especially if you're, my point was, if you're here to win now, then why not take Murphy that Chuck took, or Dallas Turner that the Vikings ended up taking, or Leatu. Why not take something that's going to affect your team today? Or Rome Odunze today.
It's one of those picks when you're making a pick that high and he is not affecting your team, then that's definitely gonna. It doesn't help you this season.
It's
future sure.
I was gonna say, you know what it is, and this is the only thing that makes sense to me. It's a GM pick. It's not a player pick. It's the trying to save my job, because let's also be fair about where Kirk Cousins is coming back from an Achilles. I know you threw the bag at him, but he could not be anywhere near what he's coming. Has he been consistent in his career? 1,000%. Guy, other than, let's be real, the bright lights haven't been wonderful for Kirk Cousins. But if you look at the year-by-year numbers, he is a solid top 12 quarterback every year.
Yep.
So if you get that guy, then using the number 8 pick on, edge rusher or cornerback or linebacker.
Or trading out to get something else.
If you use the equity otherwise and you use all of the money for Cousins, but you're linking your train to a guy coming back from Achilles at 36.
That's what I think.
All I'm saying. And same thing with the New York, with the Jets. Now, they put a shitload of different things. We'll get to them later, but
That's why I think that Chris Sims said it best. You your use of equity, your use of what the pick could be, and the money. If you're going to take the quarterback, you could use the money to get the defensive players. Just not great use of assets.
Now, with their following 3 picks, though, they address what is probably their most needed position on the D line. They get Rukaroro, they get Trice from Washington, they get Doris from Oregon. All big
DT edge, DT right.
I agree, except the fact that we both liked Rook Aurora, but Johnny Newton was still on the board at that point, and Chris Jenkins was still on the board at that point. I thought that that was a reach with the players on the board, and even players that we liked more than.
Again, kind of mimicking their first pick, Aurora seems like he has higher potential possibly than Newton, but he's a player that also needs more development. So you're playing for the future instead of for next year, it feels like.
And I even thought Chris Jenkins that the Bengals ended up getting, I thought, from Michigan was a better pick at that point. I thought they left more on the board.
But I guess that's your thought, not theirs, right?
Correct.
So it's not to say that they didn't address the need. It's just you didn't agree.
I don't agree with where the player was taken. I like Luke.
Right.
You
like the position. You don't like the person
100%.
necessarily,
100%.
given what was on the board. However, there have been
correct.
All you have to say is Tom Brady was drafted 199.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I totally know.
That room felt differently. I'm a UW guy. I watched every game that Penix played in a UW jersey. I watched, and he is the best pure thrower of the football in this class.
Not dogging the players. Just don't.
I just think that it's just, unfortunately, this draft is tied to Penix. Regardless of what the other guys 100%. Do, this draft is tied to that quarterback prospect. And if he comes in, the best thing would be, what if he just outperforms Cousins by virtue, not by injury, he just is the better QB.
It's gonna happen, Chuck. As soon as he
comes out, you hope it does. It's kind of what I'm hoping for with Howell. I don't want to shit on Gino.
As soon as he comes out in the preseason,
we'll get to that too,
and starts chucking balls around the yard, and people are like, holy fuck.
He can.
Michael Penix is fucking slinging
his arm,
and all of a sudden
legit.
he's fucking hitting dudes down the field
because
for
you're
20,
not
30
you're
more
not
yards.
seeing you're not gonna get the scramble out of Kirk Cousins. So it's not if you're going arm for arm, Penix might come in and be just a
Penix
little
to
bit
get you
better.
more scramble.
Who knows? We'll see.
Let's jump.
Yeah.
Everybody, we're clear on the.
Okay.
So honestly, okay.
Oh wait.
I give it this. I'm gonna give it a middle because I can't necessarily. I understand some swings. We'll see if they miss. Downey is a hard no.
A hard no. You missed.
It is close for me because, I want to give it a no because of the team building, but the possibility of Penix being great could change everything. So I'm close to mid, but I think I still at this point I have to give the thumbs down.
You are going down. Okay, he's committed to the down. 2 downs in the mid.
Next team.
Just because of how it was handled, it could have been handled better if they still.
Well, and I'm sure now Kurt's in shock. If he's supposed to be the number one guy.
Quarterbacks.
Let's jump to the next team, the
would
Baltimore
be
Ravens.
bonkers.
It would be.
I think they have one of the better drafts. They stayed at pick 30, ended up laying in Nate Wiggins. I think me and Trev had him as our third corners, right?
Yeah, he was right there. He's definitely one of the top players of the class.
Next pick, they get Roger Rosengarten, who me and T both loved. Third pick, they get Adiza Isaac, who I think might be a better pass rusher than the other dude that came out of Penn State. So they get another great pick there. Devontae Walker, all speed. He's not.
Receiver.
He has no route tree.
Yeah, well, that's
Zero
South
route
Carolina,
tree.
pretty much.
And then they get TJ Tampa,
your guy.
my fucking dude in the 4th round. Their first 5 picks are fucking outstanding. Again, they kill it. Devin Leary, I liked as a quarterback. I thought it was a weird pick to that team because he's not a runner. He's more of a thrower. I always think that's weird when you draft a quarterback that doesn't match your starter.
Yes, but I think it indicates maybe the idea that you want to be prepared for every game plan.
And then they go get a center in the 7th round. All Baltimore does every year usually is hit the draft. I did think that maybe another offensive line would have been in there instead of the running back, but I think they did a hell of a job, and their first 5 picks are outstanding, along with the center that has
the
a
rich
chance
get
to back
richer
up.
in the sense of I know they signed D. Henry in the offseason. They are trying to be they're trying to compete with the Chiefs. They're taking swings. They did in the offseason as far as free agency, and they made some really good draft picks. Harbaugh's a hell of a coach.
And
That AFC North is fucking brutal, but the Ravens are right there, man.
And Trev talked about team building. Now you put Walker, who runs this way, with Zay Flowers, who runs this way.
Any other way, sure.
You're starting to kind of that's team building, right? Right, Money?
Yeah,
I know you got to love this draft too, dude.
Yes, you want players. There's roles for everybody that you draft or that you position on your team. Not everybody can be the all-star at everything they do. So you want that versatility. And that's what you kind of see with their draft. And again, a lot of good players that you think could be really something in the NFL. I want to talk just briefly. My team talked about it, and I feel like this was kind of the draft. Was the first couple rounds really good, maybe the end of the draft maybe not so strong as far as players that might get that roster spot, more likely players that are going to end up on those.
That's traditional.
Yeah, that's the kind of draft this was, I feel like. That's how it was talked about, at least. We'll see what happens. So that's why we're kind of only touching on a lot of the earlier picks too.
But Baltimore?
Yes, thumbs up.
3
all the
thumbs.
way.
I'll give him fucking 4 thumbs up, dude. You get 5 dudes
Potential.
5 dudes?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
that fit every part of your system.
So next up, what I affectionately like to call a buffalo. I think they made a really good fucking move by ditching Stephon
I
Diggs.
do too,
That's
dude.
addition by subtraction. I think that.
And I
locker
love
room-
the dude they got, dude. I
Oh
love
my
him.
god!
I love
please,
him.
Please tell me you have seen some of the shit they've
Oh,
let
I've
out
watched
on social
everything.
media. He is
the
hilarious.
star of the
Keon
draft, man.
Coleman, yeah, it's true.
Dude, and he
As
was our
far as
guy. Dude,
personality,
we were calling him out at
so-
Florida State. Dude, we were calling him out
so
early.
funny, so good. He's set up to be. If he can produce on the field, he is going to make millions of dollars off the field. You know what I
Look at-
mean?
right
he
here.
is so endorsable.
Great
He
personality.
is hilarious. You guys, if you guys haven't seen it, his sound cut about buying off-season
Yeah.
clothing. My mom taught me we go buy winter clothes in the summer and summer clothes in the winter. That's how you get shit cheap. Keon Coleman is the real man.
Love him.
Hilarious. Look, okay, so
Did you see that Nike took advantage of that and they sent out a bunch of winter coats to
I
him?
love that.
Just-
That's so amazing.
It's like, hey,
of
we
course,
got you,
capitalize
man.
exactly whatever's viral, no
Dude,
doubt.
he's a stud, and
But-
he fits that fucking system.
Let's back it
Perfect.
down to Buffalo in general. So they traded down twice actually. The
Yep.
first trade down was like they got super shouted at because they traded with the Chiefs.
Oh well, dude, you got your dude, and you got him for 2 other picks.
They said they let
It's
Xavier Worthy go to the Chiefs, right? So it's because that's who's beaten them in the last 3 postseasons. You trade with what's
know.
supposed to be your mortal enemy.
And they're giving him that
What is
guy.
the fastest human ever
Yeah.
recorded at the NFL Combine?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just looks bad in optics. But you picked up draft picks and you got the best gauntlet runner in this fucking draft.
He ran the gauntlet the fastest. Even though his 40 was like a 4.6, he had the fastest gauntlet and the straightest gauntlet, which is one of the more important things. That means
Yeah.
you ran a straight line.
That's
and
route
turned-
running.
And
No,
turned
yeah,
your hips
no,
without moving
that's-
your feet.
Yeah, no, that is way better than.
Dude, he's gonna be a
Unfortunately, he fell
fucking
because he
stud.
ran a 4.6.
Correct.
Yeah, so.
Correct.
But I mean, you're looking at a guy who's long as fuck.
Day
like,
one starter. Josh
yeah,
Allen
he's
throws
gonna
a-
come in. He's gonna grab balls.
Josh Allen throw the long ball.
Yeah,
Keon Coleman
no,
catching big passes.
it'll be fine. It's a good matchup, and just he's hilarious. God damn it, I could speak on that all day. But then,
Did you see about the Tiger Woods? Did you
Oh,
see his
yeah.
comment?
He ain't know I Tiger Woods. He's like, what do you say? I'm like Tiger. I wish I could.
I
be or
wish I
something.
could. Yeah. Hilarious. So
for
good.
his golf game. That was
Next
great.
up is Cole
Wait, wait,
Bishop out of
hold on.
Utah. Oh, we're
Oh,
gonna,
no, go ahead.
Dude,
Go
this
ahead.
whole
I
as
thought you
you
were gonna go further ahead.
yeah keep going down to Charlie because I love it. Dude.
Yeah,
I love
no,
every
it's a good
part
draft.
of it.
Safety out of Utah. Okay, so scrappy defense in Utah. This is a great fucking
he's
pick
filling a
right
hole,
here.
dude.
Yeah, absolutely. They need
Love
that
it.
D tackle out of Dwayne Carter out
like
of
it.
Duke.
Love that pick.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought he could have.
nasty,
I
man.
thought see.
He was
He's
on
a
my
dude
board.
I thought could have went like second round. I liked him.
They got him at literally the last pick in the third round.
Yep.
32nd. So then you're moving on. A
Pounder.
running back, a little
Let's
Ray
get it.
Davis. I
One
mean,
cutter.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. The running backs notoriously in Buffalo have kind of been a little shaky. And then okay. So let's go.
They get
the
the
rest
third.
of
Yep.
their draft.
It's center and linebacker.
Center, linebacker, edge, offensive tackle,
love that
cornerback,
center
offensive
pick.
guard.
Love
So-
that center pick where they got that center pick.
Yeah,
Maybe my one of
If-
I love a lot of the dudes on that draft where they got him.
5th round, the 6th pick, probably the 4th graded center. On
I thought
most
so.
Boards.
I thought so.
If you look down, so basically you're looking at, so they had 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. And,
And-
if you look at all the bottom of them, they drafted every need
And
that
see-
they had left.
And those arrows all mean trades. So
Right.
some of those are forgetting those trading back in the first round. You
Sure,
get a 5th and another
1,000%.
7th. That's great team building. brother.
You're gonna poo poo the idea that you gave the Kansas City Chiefs the ability to move up, but you gained equity. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I'm not saying that they're not playing the marathon in Kansas City. They've had 3 out of the last 5 chips. Like they are right fucking there. Obviously, it's Mahomes, but you have to build. You have to build. This is building. This is team building.
Yeah, I kind of like their 5th round too at 33. Javon Solomon getting that end, high production. Of course, it's
Oh my boy,
Yep.
Olufashanu.
You're a linebacker,
Okay, I'm
dude.
sorry.
Yep.
Olufashanu out of Washington, who can play in coverage as well.
Telling
Like,
you, dude.
draft. Thumbs up. all the
Given
way.
because they played with it enough to move down enough to get guys who can be plug and plays. Like it's because they went into this draft with not that much equity. They made a lot of moves to get the guys that they needed. So super thumbs up for draft boards that go like that.
T, you got Carolina coming up.
Yeah, let's move along. Carolina
Traded back into the first round.
Yeah, and I mean, they bring a lot of weapons to the offense. Leggett being their first pick at the end of the first round. They get Brooks in the second. Sanders in the fourth was kind of a little bit of a fall for the offensive weapon he could be. The only thing I find lacking with their
Call it, dude. I know what you're going to call.
offense is they didn't really improve that offensive line.
Not at all. They did sign dudes in free agency, though.
They did, but
But no picks. I thought the same thing, T.
None.
I thought the same fucking thing. I understand getting weapons for your own quarterback, but for the quarterback to
get
get
it
the
to
ball
those
to the
weapons,
weapons,
man.
he's got to get fucking some protection.
They didn't get
Poor kid got
nobody.
fucking eaten alive last
I
year.
understand
didn't get
they signed.
anybody.
Yeah, but they signed Damian Harris, who God, he's a good guard.
I know, and
he's
they
gonna-
got didn't they get Morris too?
Yes, they got out of Buffalo for their center.
And you're hoping that
And then
Alonu,
no, you're close. Ikwanu, yes.
Good job.
So he didn't have the best rookie season, nor the best sophomore season.
Last year was
either.
rough too, brother.
Yeah. But it's.
I mean, if that all comes together-
I get because here's the thing though, you're getting these guys on the cheap. You had to get a bag for those guys that you're bringing in on the offensive line already, right? So I get drafting depth, but maybe that's next year. You got to see what you have in these guys this year.
Maybe let it run.
You
But
you have to plug these holes.
I still would have thought there would at least been maybe.
Well, they only had 7 picks. They only had
take one offensive line.
not a single one.
Not one.
Not a single
That's what
one.
I'm saying. Not one. Like a dude that's like maybe he can play like
I think
3
the fact of the matter
positions
is
or something, you know?
so for me it's it's a mid, and I also think that Carolina is going to be a mid team at best.
they're
At best, six wins at best.
I think they're one of the worst teams in the NFL again.
Yeah, them and the Pats. Let's run to
same,
another team.
same.
This team's hard to grade because of the only 5 picks, but it's hard not to love the first 2 in the Chicago
yes.
Bears, taking Caleb and Rome. They get the tackle that's developmental, but he's from Yale, so he's smart as fuck. And then they get Austin Booker, and they get the best punter. Everybody said he's the best punter, but they got Austin Booker from Kansas, who's a home run in the 5th round.
This punter had a highlight film. Did you see this?
Dude, he's fucking crushing balls, bro.
It's hilarious that like the most reviews I've seen on Chicago have been A's or A pluses.
Well,
like,
it's how you we talk about.
it's
Those
also
first 2 picks. Man.
look at how they have retooled it. It's
Correct.
also combined with their offseason. They've been fucking Ryan Pace is slaughtering as a GM right now.
He's
in
done that
Chicago.
for the Chiefs
Now
as well.
it's all paper. It's
Yep,
all
let's-
paper.
let's get it done this season.
This could fail. It could. On paper, god damn, does it look juicy.
I think the only way it fails is with injuries. I really do. Like, I mean, I still question.
There's a
the
lot of
coach
pieces
and
having to
the
come together
offense.
pretty quick, dude. There's a lot of pieces coming together pretty
Hey,
quick.
now.
Don't you hey now me. Hey now. Hey now. Andrew, don't bring the second beer in because I can't
I
drink
think-
it. It's
I
like
think-
a cock tease.
I think
That's
we
what
all
it's-
have to give him a plus just because. The
Well,
first 2
yeah,
picks
no,
are-
you're
You hit it out of the park at the first 2 picks. It's
Oh,
a layup.
Dunze, my boy. Let's go out there and grab
Williams,
some balls.
my boy, our boy.
Charlie, you got the Bengals didn't bungle it.
No, they sure didn't, dude. Like, a lot of people are questioning the Mims pick because of he's so green. Like, but you look at the size, he's prototypical size, and his speed and his athleticism, and you take a chance,
Yep,
right?
100%.
Where they were in the draft at 18, it makes sense the way it
does.
fell, all of it. So can't necessarily discredit that. A lot of people aren't necessarily high on that, but I like it where it was.
Me too.
Getting Jenkins
Yep.
at D tackle in the 2nd round,
Yep.
yes please. Burton at wide receiver in the 3rd
That's
round,
a
yes
fills
please.
your-
Fills,
right there.
fills your Tyler
Yes,
Boyd role,
please,
dude, it's
absolutely.
huge.
Yeah, who Boyd just signed with Tennessee today,
That's a
by
big
the
signing
way.
too. That's a big signing.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
got him and
They Ridley.
Ridley too.
And
We'll
yeah,
get to
no.
it when we get to the Titans. Let's keep
Okay,
rolling
okay,
through.
okay.
Let's keep rolling.
So overall, though, okay, so
Bengals.
McKinley Jackson, another DT out of A&M, so they know that their defensive line needs to be retooled. They're now working on that.
Him and Jenkins. I mean, I think that's definitely early thought in their process.
And then you keep going down too. Then you get another edge.
They picked up
Johnson.
2 tight ends. They did the 2 TE draft like Green Bay did last year.
Yep.
So I think that they understand that's a position of need to offset the wide receiver. And they had 2, 4, 6,
They had
8, 10, they had 10 picks.
I
So-
don't have no. I mean, only positives. I mean, I see the first 3 starting. McKinney Jackson, he's a rotational. After that, they just did a bunch of needs, which is what teams need to do with team building. But first 3 picks are home runs.
A D tackle is even a starting guy is technically a rotational
Right,
guy.
correct.
Even like they literally you need 10 guys on your fucking defensive line, bare fucking minimum that you can rotate out. Like
And Jenkins, it was the best run stopper of the class.
yeah.
So he's gonna get plenty.
oh,
of
in
play.
the
He's gonna
AFC
get plenty of
North,
snaps.
in the AFC North, that specific division,
building.
they run the fucking ball in the AFC North.
I wish I
That
had
is
a
a.
Reese's to go with my fucking peanut butter salad. I can't drink.
I'm gonna punch
shortly,
this guy
shortly.
right in the mouth.
We'll jump right to the Browns. It's hard to rate this. It's hard to rate this.
I'm gonna
draft.
keep talking and not drinking.
It's
so
hard
that-
to rate this draft because you don't have.
They didn't
ton
have a lot of
picks.
equity. Yeah.
Wait, did we grade the Bengals?
Oh, I give the Bengals.
Oh, thumbs
Thumbs.
up,
They
thumbs
did a
up.
good
Yeah,
job.
absolutely.
Michael Hall Jr. second round pick. Zach Zinter third round pick, and after that you had a 5th, 6th, and 2 7ths of just filling needs. You had a receiver, a linebacker, a cornerback, and a D tackle. Your first 2 picks are good. I mean, Hall's a definite rotation, probably starting up there on the line. He's another run stopper T. I think he's just
he's
a little
gonna play
bit.
all-
He's a little bit below than Jenkins, right? I mean,
he's gonna be the off-ball linebacker, as it were, is what they like to
and
call him these days.
Zach Zinter definitely has his chance. I don't know what their center position's like, but I thought he could come in and be a starter.
Yeah, I think he might have been maybe the best offensive lineman for Michigan, and where they got him in the 3rd
I
round.
thought Zach Zinter could have been that end of 2nd round, early 3rd round guy. He's definitely could be a starter.
Mid-late third.
I mean, not having that 1st round pick though because of that Watson trade, I can only give them a
Yeah.
second.
Right. No, you're going to have to go this way. It's not a clear thumbs down because they did what they could with what they had. But
Yeah.
now moving forward, they'll get some more equity. So, fucking Dallas.
Dude, okay. Go for it, and I'll talk about it.
Well, no, it's you.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, it's you.
So the 1st round pick, trading back to get Guyton was amazing.
A lot of people are low on that, but I thought given what they did to make it happen, it was a good move.
I thought it was a great move.
Yeah.
I
The
think so.
Keeneland move at edge. He's
I like Keelan.
he's a good pick.
Nealon.
Nealon. BB, the guard, that's a great pick in the 3rd round.
Where they got him was
Yeah,
very
love it.
efficient. For
Love
sure,
it.
For sure.
Luafu, the linebacker at Notre Dame. It's need, and then they went basically need. Other than the fact they never drafted a fucking running back.
Yeah, that running back room.
How in the hell?
Looking great.
I like the Nealon pick as a player. How didn't they take Benson there or somebody else there? And I like BB. I love the BB
Well,
pick. I think
even-
the BB pick is their best pick.
Even after BB, man, you
Like
still
the
could have got a
linebacker.
premier running back. I feel like at that spot,
Right, like you could have got 324, where you got the kid from Notre Dame.
You guys are killing me, dude. 15's coming home. Ezekiel Elliott is gonna go be a
I could run as just-
1,700 yard
Dude, I
fucking
can run as
back
good as
this year.
Ezekiel Elliott. Give
Shut
me a fucking
Zach,
break.
I
Give me
swear
a
to
fucking
God.
break.
I'll break it. I'll break your hip. That's what's gonna get broken
me a
next.
break.
Fucking.
maybe
No,
the
I'm not.
Cowboys want to
I'm
give the
just
Niners
that
some
is
more
that is
draft
all
picks.
sarcasm in the fact of like I think Zeke can still be a relatively useful tool, but he's
A
not
tool
gonna
to
be.
do what? A tool to like bring water to the starting running back? Come
Yeah,
on, man.
that
Dude,
really-
you
That's-
had no.
That's the funniest
fucking
thing
back.
we've said all night.
That's probably the worst running back room in the NFL.
100% T.
Well, yeah, no, they
100%
lost because they
brother.
lost Pollard and they have Vaughn and what's his fucking nuts? He's got a crazy name.
And now you're
Doesn't
putting
matter.
a quarterback
Doesn't
that's
matter.
not necessarily. He's like Dak is Kirk Cousins, right?
Let's see how
He
the
needs
value
a
of
running
this
game
position
to
is.
be.
And he's making $63 fucking million this year.
I don't. I love some of the picks, but I don't love that they didn't take a running back. I honestly cannot.
Does that put
figure
you
it
at
out.
mid?
I like.
Does that
love,
put you at mid?
Love the Guyton and love the BB pick. I love the Carson pick at corner,
It is a good late pick at corner. I think he's a good slot guy.
dude. I do, but
He was on my list.
Without the running back, and you didn't necessarily go. Nope, I'm still giving it a medium. Yeah, I got to give it a medium.
Where you at? Where you at? Schmedium?
Schmedium. Because I can't, because no running back. Your offensive linemen you picked were great, and they filled needs, but no running back gives me a medium. And I can't give it this because I love the linemen.
Yeah, I can't give it.
I'm with you too.
I can't. Yeah, I think we're thumbs aside
Because of the running back pick.
I know it's you're going along the lines of what Dallas needs. A running back is one of them to make that offense go forward, and they have a 0. Next up, you guys, is pick number 12, the Broncos, the Denver Broncos.
Yeah,
Let's talk through it and then let's comment on it.
Okay, do you think Nix was a reach?
No.
I don't. I think he's a good fit for the system. I think
Okay.
that he was underrated by a lot of teams, actually.
Then, to be fair, behind that, I think they had a pretty decent fucking draft.
I really liked their first
Getting
3
Ellis
picks.
out of Utah in the 3rd round and Franklin out of Oregon in the 4th round to pair with the brand new Bo Nix,
You
who
get your favorite
they're dotting
receiver
him.
from
Absolutely, yeah.
Oregon.
No, you literally can. You talk about a comfort blanket, right?
And you still got Sutton coming back.
This is off pod. I fucking love the draft on pod. They can fucking burn in hell, brother. No, I love the draft. Bo Nix, we know what I feel about Bo Nix. I would have taken it myself. Jonah Ellis at edge in the 3rd round is a great pick for them. Like you guys just said, Franklin pairing him with his boy is awesome. Chris Abrams, Drain, the cornerback, I thought in the 5th round's a steal.
Their other 5th round pick at 2 spots later.
And the running back is how is he still there? He's a pounder.
He was the biggest bruiser of the draft.
I think that they
To
literally
pair him with what could be. I'm sorry, why am I drawing a blank? I'm not
Williams.
McLaughlin, the guys in front. Javante.
Javante.
Yes, if Javante gets right,
one,
he's
too.
still only in like his 4th year. He's still got legs.
you did a lot of updating, but you still didn't take any linemen on either side of the ball. You have Jonas Ellis as the edge.
That is
but
very true.
You didn't
that
pass rushers on that team.
But that
surprisingly.
Denver offensive line is terrible.
Terrible.
It has been for
And you got to go up
years.
against one of the best defensive lines in the league now.
What, in Kansas City
And
or
the
like-
Raiders, yep. Coming at you, bitches.
Bitches.
So
Oh
what do you
my
give
God,
them?
dude!
What do you
Max Crosby and
Give them plus?
Wilkins.
Because
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you were going to go side. I like the.
I have to be-
plus.
They did
I have
get a
to-
center
I have
in
to
the
be
7th
I have
round.
to be neutral. I have to be
You
neutral.
go neutral. I mean, I like that.
Where they were pre-draft and where they are going after draft, I hate it. I hate the Broncos too.
I
hate the
love.
Broncos,
I
too.
like Bo Nix a lot. I
It-
really
it's
like
just
him.
everything that you've heard about the Broncos. They just drafted for what they really were going to put forth, what they really needed. I hate it.
Timon, you got the Lions, which is another hard draft to estimate because you go 1-2 and then you only have so many other picks after that. But the 1-2 are amazing.
So I kind of like the Lions draft. They didn't have as many picks.
I don't
But-
necessarily love the kid at 3. I don't know what to think about him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he is definitely potential based.
Sorry,
at
go
that
for it. Go
pick.
name the previous.
But having Arnold fall to you at 24, you get a good all-round corner. I think he fits their team.
Yeah, hard nose like Dan Campbell wants. He's going to get up in there, put you down.
Yeah, and Straw at junior
Yep.
at number 2. That was their biggest
Slot,
need with
safety.
secondary, and they hit that with the first 2 picks.
Both guys we
talked
liked.
about their 4th round pick, their 3rd pick overall, that being from British Columbia. Potential there, but
It smells so good.
there needs to be some development for sure. But
After that, I like the
Vakai
next 2. Yeah, dude.
from Utah, another hard nose. He was safety
He's
and
like-
running back.
Do you think he plays linebacker for them?
I think he could. He is a football guy, so I like football guys. Picking
Yes.
him, it just makes sense on that team. Dan Campbell, and then even their last 2 picks in the 6th round.
Well, Wingo's
Wingo
a steal.
at the 6th round at his spot, and then even Mahogany, that Boston College guard. I thought that was a good late round pick.
Detroit, just keep building, dude. Dan Campbell, GM. All you're doing is building good shit up there, guys. All you're doing.
Yeah, no, I can't. Arnold, the fact that they were able to even swing that is insane.
Well, I think us 3 are all on the same page about the team building kind of shit. hitting those first 2 picks out of the park.
Yep.
When you can, we've talked about
You got to get starters in your first 2 picks. You got to get instant impact, which is why Atlanta it was such a question mark.
That's why it's crazy when you get fucking teams like Baltimore knocking fucking 5 out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So 2 is great, and you know we do love Wingo and Vaki making impacts right away, whether they're starters or rotational players, 100%. Before we jump to the next team in the Packers, update in the NBA: Pacers 111, Knicks 106. Pacers get 1
Final?
home. Final
Hey,
2-1 series.
2-1. Make it a series, Pacers.
Halliburton goes for 35 and the Pacers win. Siakam goes for 26. Turner goes for 21 on the Knicks. Our boy Brunson goes for 26. DiVincenzo goes for 35. After that, Hart only gets 10, but they're hurting. Noah Nobi, they're in a real bad spot. He's coming back
Brunson
next week,
himself
though.
was questionable coming into this game.
And he only went 2 for 6 from 3 land. So it's a real tough fight uphill for the Knicks at this point. I really do admit. So before we actually also get to Green Bay, we have a delicious beer in front of us, Charlie. What are we about to sip on as
Oh
we
my
cheers?
goodness, let's go with
Cheers
that,
to NFL draft. Cheers to NBA playoffs.
that left hand
sir.
life, dude. All right, left hand peanut butter milk stout. Okay.
Smells so fucking good before I even drink it.
Oh, it's really good after you drink it too. It smells really good.
Oh my God, it smells like Reese's, and it's got Reese's on the can. So check out X and Instagram for the peanut butter stout.
Tasty.
6.2%.
Gosh,
I really
damn.
like that.
Yeah, and they're brewed out of, you ready for this? Longmont, Colorado. I don't know where the fuck that is.
Dude, we've had the dude left
Colorado's got some good beer though,
Left
dude. I
hand's
will give
fucking-
them that.
Left hand's nitro regular milk stout is absolutely
And
outrageous.
that is very true. And this on nitro
would
is,
be god.
yeah,
so
you're
good.
talking about eating a dessert,
Dude,
right
this
there.
is so good. It's so light because you get peanut butter, but it's not like it's shoving the peanut butter down your throat. Kind of
No,
like
the body
heaviness.
of the body of the beer is mild for sure. It's not a thickums by any means. Solid fucking brew.
So as
We're
we're
gonna
talking
enjoy
about
drinking
solid
this.
stuff, let's talk about the solid Packers. They drafted great again.
ended the team, or ended that season really hot last year after kind of questionable first half play, and then got into the playoffs and smoked the
Should-
fucking Cowboys.
Yep, smoked. It should have beat the fucking other team they played too. You know who I'm talking to.
Coulda, woulda.
They took an offensive lineman first round. I thought Guyton would have been their guy there. They go get Jordan Morgan because they remember Dallas traded back.
Yep.
And Guyton was available.
was
at that
still there
point.
at 29, four
Yep.
behind.
I would have taken Guyton over Morgan. Morgan, I feel, is more the guard, and I think Trev feels the same way. Then they go get Cooper at linebacker. I like the player and I like the position. I don't know if I like where
the Bullard pick. I love the Bullard
then I
pick
love
at
the
safety.
Bullard pick. I love the Lloyd pick.
I love the Lloyd pick.
Both those are fucking great picks. And then you go get another safety, another
Losing Aaron
center,
Jones, yeah, that is a good play.
another offensive tackle, and then you go get a quarterback. And I think the Kalen King pick is very underrated in the 7th round. At one point, he was looked at a fucking 1st or 2nd round. Marvin Harrison ate him alive, though. I watched that game live. But him in the 7th round, I think, he doesn't have to be the one, but he can be a dude that comes in. I think he's a steal in the 7th round.
So what do we grade?
I have a hard time because I think Morgan's a good guy and I think Cooper's a good dude, but I don't love the
Centers
height
and
of
Monk.
the stuff. I love the Bullard. I love Lloyd. I have a hard time. I don't know, Trev. I don't.
Oh, I'm a plus on this. I think that the reason being is
I'm gonna go +2.
they addressed enough of their needs.
And they figured they draft well.
Safeties all over the board, the linebackers all over. They knew that that back end needed to be shored up. So
You know what, actually-
that's where they went.
Are they gonna? What's up with him? What's up with them and Alexander? Is he coming back? With that little
Jair?
tiff, yeah, that little tiff they had.
I didn't know they had a tiff.
There was a bit of a tiff.
A little bit of a tiff.
Because otherwise they didn't take a cornerback until King, which kind of kicks you in the nuts too. But
Well, that says to me they're not overly concerned then.
okay, I'm still going here.
I thought you were going up.
I'm not.
I'm an upper.
I love
I hate
second
that
and
'cause
third round pick, but I don't love.
I don't like Green Bay.
And
at
I don't
all
love the first two
necessarily.
picks.
2 mids and an upper.
I don't love the first two picks.
I'm with you, Z. The first 2 picks I don't love, and not having a quarter taken higher after they had that kind of tiff last year. I'm going mid.
Clearly, they valued safety higher in the draft, which
Well,
is strange because
I
a lot
was-
of people don't.
If they value, I would have thought they would have stayed him and taken what's his name
Cooper?
at safety. Yeah, at 25, he would have. If they would have taken Cooper,
I would have liked this draft better.
yeah, Cooper DeJean, and then Edgerrin Cooper, I'd be like, oh man, they really valued defense.
I mean, Bullard's still pretty good.
Bowler's still good. He's not Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper's game changing.
Next
Let's move
up.
to the Houston Texans
Probably the hottest team right now in the NFL as far
They're
as
so
like
hot right
potential.
and their first
They could
4
crack
picks are great.
and wrap it in tinfoil and it would sell.
First 4 picks are great, man.
They have worked not only the draft but the free agent market. Like I know that it did. I applauded Buffalo from getting rid of Stephon Diggs. This is the team that traded for him. It's low risk, high reward because Diggs,
they bought him out.
right. Well, they did have to do it, but they had cap coming out of their fucking ears because they're not paying anybody. This squad is young as fuck overall. Like, and with the picks that they've made, is still investing in the back end cornerback with their first pick in the second round because they traded their last year's first pick to get back up to get Will Anderson, which was obviously a fucking great move.
Yep.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is the first two
No,
picks.
Fisher right there is ridiculous.
We talk about the first 2 picks being like if you talk about them being starters, you
The
kill the
1-2s.
draft.
Yeah, no,
They
those
had
are starters. Yeah,
they had 2
those are starters.
second round picks, and we're talking about Lassiter
on both ends of the ball.
Lassiter being a slot corner, and
Yeah.
Blake Fisher coming in and maybe
At
starting
two
at right
extremely
tackle.
important positions.
right
Yeah,
tackle,
no.
and so
Yeah.
and then Bullock being at safety. I don't know what their safety position is like, but man,
And then Stover out of Ohio State at the
He's
TE
probably
to
starting-
pair,
he's
yeah,
probably
with
starting-
Schultz. Well,
he's the
no,
block-
he won't start
well,
over
he's
Schultz.
he's the blocking tight end.
He's the
coming
11.
back. Yeah.
He's the 11 guy. Yeah.
But you get him coming from
Correct.
Ohio State. I mean,
No, linebacker, running back, edge, D tackle,
it's that
tackle.
familiarity though with Stroud. Stroud played with him. You get him
100%,
playing
Trev.
that
Can't hate on that.
thrown to-
The instant connection. Sure.
100%
No,
team
I-
on, 100%,
but
brother.
I mean, once again, I don't know the GM's name in Houston, but goddamn, is he killing it out there right now? If I was gonna put a dark horse to make it out of the AFC, to get to the Super Bowl, I think it's the Texans.
I thought you were
I
gonna
think
say
that's
Raiders
my.
for a second.
I think that's my dark horse team, and not even dark horse. I think there's a lot of hype coming around this train, but I do believe it. I think that they are building a fucking squad.
I mean, that'll be coming up in the next pod. His projections as far as early season and how we see the divisions falling. And
We
who's
got a
gonna
couple
make the
pods for that. We
playoffs.
got a couple.
Yeah, we're not quite there, but
Let's-
on this
Still
draft,
only
how
May.
do you grade it?
For the Houston,
Yeah,
Thumbs up. Or...
I might be a little bit more mid on this.
Ah.
I mean,
I love.
Lassiter and Fisher. I know you guys really like those 2 second round picks. I question those picks a little bit more. I think
Okay.
they're both good players, but I'm still like on the fence and where I'm not sure if that's gonna make the draft for them. We'll see. But I have my hesitations.
And you're allowed to have those.
I think the next one's an A too.
Yeah, I landed on a pretty fucking good pick right here. Indy.
Hold on. Who had Houston?
Didn't you have Houston?
No, Trev had Houston, right?
Did I? I don't know. We're kind of doing it as a
Yeah.
group.
Okay, read it off, Charlie.
I'm gonna take Indy
It's a good draft.
because Leatu Latu
Yep.
at 15 right
Best
there.
pass rusher by tape in the draft.
It's the medical issues that
Correct.
even allowed him to drop this far.
Got your wide receiver.
That was
Both of
actually
them.
the first
Dude, I
defensive
fucking so
player
pissed.
taken off of the board.
Yes.
Was this guy at 15? Adonai Mitchell out of
Could
Texas.
not believe he fell this far.
Right.
One fucking drop in the last 2 years, and he falls. Dude, this team.
20th in the second
Wait
round.
till you get to the
I
next
thought
couple
he was
guys.
going to be like the end of the first.
Wait till you get to the next couple. How they're loaded at the fucking wide receiver position.
Well, yeah, so
Loaded.
But here's the sad thing. Can I
Go
in?
for it.
Is
I'm so
that
sorry.
Xavier Worthy got drafted basically 30 picks in front of the guy who was the WR1 at his own school. It's because Xavier Worthy ran a fucking 4.2.
Well,
Right.
Adrian
Yeah.
Mitchell's only
Only
like
got-
a 4.34. He's not.
So-
there was
so-
the worry that Adrian Mitchell took plays off. That
Shut
was the
the
wor- yeah. That
damn-
was the what they came out. that they
Okay,
took
well,
plays
yeah,
off.
no, I get that, but like, okay, so in college, yeah, okay, welcome, yeah, okay. So I don't, that doesn't, to me, that doesn't affect his pro stock because the plays that he's on, he is on. Like, so if he's going to take it to the next level, you don't think if he's playing for chips
I have him as my number 5.
No, I know. I'm saying that's
I
a
thought he
terrible
was
assessment.
fucking huge.
People are saying Rattler fell because of a QB1 fucking thing that he did when he was a senior in high school.
I don't know. That's what like you
Jesus
hear.
fucking Christ, you guys. Let kids grow the fuck up, dude.
don't
Adonai
know,
Mitchell is going to light up the NFL.
Taking plays off in college is when you have other dudes that don't take plays off, like your McConleys and your Pearsalls. That's where those guys go higher because they don't play
How
plays
much do
off.
you love football?
All right. Well,
Correct.
I mean,
We've seen a lot of dudes that don't love football that are very
It's
talented.
also
that come
just
in
that's
and fail.
also just an assessment by you. Are like, you know what I'm saying?
Not by
Like,
me. That's what.
No,
like, that
no,
was
not
the-
by you. What I'm saying.
But it was
is,
everybody. That was the reason he fell. Is because every analyst said, "Dude, there were plays that Adonai Mitchell took off. How do you take plays off?" That was like his knock. He took plays off.
I can get it, but I also think that the upside for this kid is just ridiculous. So like it blows my mind that the NFL doesn't understand where his head was at versus like this isn't getting in trouble off of the field. This isn't being arrogant. This is like you can re-coach this aspect into him if you okay. I think you can. I appreciate that you disagree, but I think you can.
No, actually, I was just enjoying that beer again. I
No, we
actually
have-
really enjoy the
Yeah.
Colts draft.
I do too.
After Mitchell, though, Goncalves Kuiper was really high on him, being a developmental tackle,
but also a starting guard maybe as well too.
possibly, and the center from Wisconsin. It's another guy that could probably start getting snaps.
Yep.
Maybe not the beginning, but mid-season.
And then my dude
And
Gold
you're-
and
Gold,
fucking
you had him
I
so
loved
many
him
mocks. You wanted him going to the
because
Raiders.
he was just as fast in his 10 as Worthy. He was one of the fastest dudes in the draft. You used to get a guy like that. You get a guy like that in the fucking 5th round. How much stuff can you do with a dude like that? I love that guy. I would really wish we would have got him. I really liked. I thought Indianapolis absolutely hit it out of the park. Big time thumbs up. Jacksonville next.
Let's go, man.
All right.
You gotta like that first pick, though, right?
The first two are. The first one's great. The second one we could love if he turns out.
No, read it. Read
Sorry,
it to us,
Jason.
Trev.
I'm definitely like the first two. Brian Thomas Jr. at 23 could possibly be one of the better receivers
Correct.
in the draft. Getting him, especially with the Jaguars struggling to throw it downfield, you get Trevor Lawrence at downfield targets.
Right off the bat.
Yes, I like that a lot. After that,
If Mason Smith turns out, because he was supposed to be this dude, but then wasn't the dude.
yes, like
So it's kind of one of those things with him.
athleticism super high, but he was one of those players that I think ended up on the ground more than anyone would like.
Correct. I thought there was a lot of D tackles here. If they would have taken him in the 3rd round, maybe different story. I don't love him in the 2nd round, 100% with who's left. They took him at 16. There was a ton of other D tackles behind him that went.
The rest of our draft, I mean, Jaron Jones in the 3rd round from Florida State. I don't know if any of these other names really jump out to me too much. What about you guys?
No,
is there a
I don't
team
really
or a
love
guy
it.
on there.
I give him a down because other than Brian Thomas Jr., I don't love the rest of the draft. There's no offensive line on there for a little bit until you get to tackle at Missouri.
They did have some injuries, so I think they're just hoping that if they can stay healthy, that's the difference. But that definitely was a problem.
It is very. If you look at positions, D tackle, cornerback, offensive tackle, which is yes, a D tackle, cornerback, place kicker, edge. they put a lot of emphasis on the defense, where I think the offense needed to be retooled just maybe a little bit more.
I thought they should have looked lineman in that second
Yeah.
round over Mason Smith, and then you could have, like you said, Jerry and Jones. You could have Mason Smith in the third
No,
round. With that pick.
I'm mid on it. I can't put it down. I can't put it down. I don't think I've given a downgrade yet because
I'm giving it
shmee.
down. I love Brian Thomas Jr.,
I'm
but
gonna
I don't love the rest of the draft at all.
Out of their first pick, it's a big question for me, so I think I do have to go down. I thought about going mid, but I love their first pick. The other picks, I'm not so sure about.
Yeah. I'll take the Chiefs, my hated rivalry. Xavier Worthy, wide receiver, obviously kills it. The BYU tackle that late in the second round is a home run. Jared Wiley at tight end is a home run in the fourth round. Hicks is a home run at safety in the fourth round.
How did he fall there?
I don't know. Another center for depth and corner and offensive guard, all for depth.
I don't know.
The first four picks are absolutely home runs. 1, 2, and then you have first round, second round, and 2 fourth round picks. You do what Chiefs do. You do a good job, and you win because you get good draft picks. Because you can get guys, 4 dudes that we know are making the team and going to have positive minutes, impact minutes.
Like even Hunter with their 5th round pick at center, like if they could develop him, he could still end up being something for that team. Like.
No,
I'm hoping Xavier Worthy drops more balls for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's not going to.
I do agree with that.
He's not going to. The dude played with a broken hand, dude.
Yeah,
he's a
that's
stud.
probably why.
He's a fucking stud. He's a fucking stud. He's going to come out
none
and
of
fucking
us at
kill
this
it.
table like the Chiefs. Literally, none of us have a good feeling about
But
the
look what
Chiefs
they fuck they do. All they
I
do
know.
is do team building bullshit.
All
Just them
right.
and the fucking Ravens. Nobody likes the Ravens at the table. They just fucking team
I like
build.
the Ravens. I don't mind the Ravens.
Oh, I don't like the Ravens. Trev, do you like the Ravens?
No, I hate the fucking Ravens.
Yeah.
Beat me in the
Fuck
Super Bowl.
yeah. Yeah. I feel it. They killed my quarterback one time. They squashed him.
One time.
Pancaked his ass.
Pancake. So what are we leading into, Z?
We got a big ass Fandom coming on. And Charlie, start it off, brother. Bring it.
So the Fandom is going to be about our drafts and where we think that our team positioned ourselves moving forward with. See, the difference between Zach has a lot of question marks as well as far as like.
Oh, who are you throwing questions
Well,
this way
I'm
for?
just hold on. I'm just saying. What I was gonna say was in staff moving forward. Like
Little bit.
you
Yeah.
you had the regime come in at least halfway through, so you have at least a little bit more continuity than I do. Bro. Like this draft, honestly, I give myself a thumbs up just because of we filled the needs that I thought we needed to. We didn't make any crazy reaches or any like what the fuck is that? We didn't draft Rashad Penny 20th overall in this draft. We drafted Byron Murphy the second 16th overall, which was insane that he was even there. He could potentially have been a top 10 pick depending on the needs of teams.
Love the first two.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And because we didn't even have a second round pick, we got Christian Haynes in the third round, who's
That's huge.
a monster of an offensive guard coming out of UConn.
Can we pause it? The 4th round pick. What do you think of Knight? I'm not sure. I haven't done much homework
No,
on
I
him.
have. He is the sideline to sideline. After we drafted him, I looked into him. He is the Bobby Wagner. He Bobby Wagner came out of Utah State, right?
I was going to touch on that.
Literally nobody knew who Bobby Wagner was coming into the league. Okay, this
This
kid.
linebacker class, though, has been questioned. So
I know, I get it, but I've seen the speed that he put on tape is what he's looking for that Roquan, the guy who can stay in the center but who can run sideline to sideline. And I'm not saying Knight's going to come in and be that guy, but I think they see that potential. Barner, we needed a blocking tight end. We re-signed Noah Fant to be our catching tight end. So because we lost Disley and Parkinson, we were thin. We've signed Farrell Brown, who is technically a blocking tight end as well, but I like the depth there. I don't necessarily mind that pick by any means. We doubled up, you guys, on Auburn cornerbacks, on Pritchett and James. in the 4th and 6th round, and
really
I love
like
that
James
continuity.
at the sixth
DJ
I
round.
love that continuity.
DJ James in 6 rounds is
I
stealing.
know
insane.
he's light in frame, but as far as cover wise, man, I think that was a great pick in the 6th.
No, I skipped over a guard that we also drafted out of Utah, who's a fucking Islander, a big old mauler that can come in and at least play rotational, right? Like, we have been really thin in between the tackles. And we also signed George Fant in this offseason to try to do a swing tackle kind of thing. We're hoping Abe Lucas comes back healthy. Charles Cross has been pretty solid for us. Overall, you guys, it was crazy because we were texting during all of it. We were watching some different rounds in different areas, but Trevor and I were texting pretty feverishly as this was going on, and I was like, "This is where the lineman
I was
happens."
I was at my son's baseball game. I was like,
Yeah,
"Fuck, my
I
phone was
know.
going
He
off."
was
And I went to answer it. My wife's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing?" I'm like, "Draft stuff," and I put my phone back away, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, we were killing
Just
it.
want to fucking watch
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah, so honestly, like, it's just like any draft where you're going to take swings on the position. We took the positions we needed. So for that, and also getting Murphy at 16 to plug in with Leonard Williams and Jaron Reed, and like, I really, 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 really like this draft. Thumbs up for me. Not love, but 83%. I think we pretty much got it right with where we were at. We had 4 trades on the table for 16, and we valued Murphy over all of that.
I love Byron Murphy and Christian Haynes.
Yep.
And then the 6th round pick of DJ James is steal. I don't know much about the linebacker and the tight end, so I'm going to give you guys a thumbs up because I love the
I'm
Murphy.
telling you, watch out
and
for
Haynes
Knight. Watch out for Knight.
So I'm going thumbs up. T.
Yeah, no, I think I probably give
Appreciate
him a thumbs
that,
up,
guys.
too.
All right, money.
Appreciate that, guys.
Oh man, I got a lot here. All right, so Niners pick at 31, and I know the majority of the Niner fans all want to tackle. Offensive line is thought to be the weakest part of the team. I looked at the stats from last year. Burford, who played guard in space, and when Feliciano was out, gave up 5 sacks, 37 pressures. McKivitz, the right tackle, gave up 9 sacks, 59 pressures. Like that it was not good. The right side of that line was not good. Not good at all. So I understand everyone wanting a tackle. And by the time it reached pick 31, there was 10 offensive linemen that already went off the board. So,
Significant.
yes, that's where I understand the Niners pivoting here because the best linemen are off the board. How much do you value the next guy? The next 2 linemen that were selected in the draft, both centers, Jackson Powers-Johnson at 44 to the Raiders, Zach Frazier, 51. I liked both of those guys.
You had
and
Frazier going to you in a lot of mocks at.
I mean, I like the guy. I like any offensive lineman that has a background in wrestling. The hand strength, the grips, the angles. I like all of that. And again, those picks were closer to mid-second round to later second round before they were selected even. So for the value-wise, they went Ricky Parasol.
Are you talking yourself into this?
That's exactly what it sounds like to me.
Well, I mean, the reason I am talking this way is because I'm trying to understand Kyle Shanahan's draft. I think there is a Trey Lance effect here. I was looking at the Niners drafts, and this year, our first pick, our second pick, both of our 4th round
It was
picks.
the
2 fourth round picks.
4, 5, 6 year starters, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have 1, 2, 3, 4 fifth-round seniors, and 1 sixth-round senior. These are all players that have played a lot of games. The guy that played the least amount of games, Pooney, I'll get to him in a little bit, played 24. That was the least amount of games played that the Niners selected.
That's still a season and a half, bare minimum.
Yes,
At least, if
and-
not almost 2 seasons in college.
And he missed time because of COVID cancellations and an injury he had. When he did play,
Shit happens.
he played 784 pass blocking snaps without allowing a sack and only 1 quarterback hit, which pretty good for selecting in round 3.
Hack.
And then before the night, I thought with the first round pick they go receiver. Receiver is kind of a long play. We only have pretty much Debo with a year extra on the contract. Everybody else is on a 1-year contract pretty much. I assume that Ayuk's going to get that deal after June 1st and that money gets freed up. But other than that, everybody else is on a 1-year deal. I'm not even sure if the guys that have multi-year deals like Gray and Bell, who were previous rookies drafted.
Oh, they're cuttable. They're
Yeah,
cuttable.
they're cuttable.
They're cuttable.
They are. They
They're
totally
expendable,
are.
for sure.
So the Ricky Parasol, it's a bit different also because I got in deep. I dug in deep. The Niners last year were the second to last team at running 3 wide receiver sets.
Really?
Yes, at 39%. Second to last, the only team behind them, Atlanta, which, I mean, with their
How
quarterback
strange
situation
is that,
is
though?
bad.
I don't know. I guess.
But the team at the top of that list, first at running 3 wide receiver sets, McVay. Same coaching tree, same kind of,
Interesting.
It's
It's an
very
interesting little connection there.
Yes.
They said Pearsall would be like the Puka Nakua.
Well, I mean,
route
that's
tree
His one-handed grab is one of the dopest highlights you will ever see, dude. Like, he high points the ball like it Pearsall.
He was drafted high. It sounds
Wide
like,
receivers
from a
were
lot
coming
of
out giving
draft
love to him.
positions.
CJ Stroud came out and gave mad love to him. Like,
Yes, I
It-
highlighted
it's-
that.
it's-
I
it's
posted
weird.
it in the Discord.
it's weird that the coaches and stuff didn't see it the same. If players are shouting out this dude, then you gotta look his way. So I can't give it a negative grade.
But the reason I bring this up is because I think changes are coming for San Francisco. Kyle Jesselnick, just the juice. I would just say it that way because he has
Juszczyk.
the ZCZ. It's just the name that I have trouble with.
Oh, it's like Krzyzewski. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't.
KZYZ.
But-
Anyway, continue. Yeah, Juszczyk.
But I wanted to highlight that they reconstructed his contract. Unlike Armstead, and they gave him the option, and he decided to move on and get that money. Juszczyk decided, I'm going to stay with the team. He actually took a 60% decrease over the next 2 seasons at his position.
Yeah, because do you know how many fullbacks exist in the NFL?
Not many.
He's got to stay where he's usable.
And
That is a great business decision if you ask. I can still make money being a fullback? Sign me the fuck up. You're the only team who does this.
And I love him. He's great, but with that,
Yeah, because you were giving him $8 million a year for a set, or like
Yes, we
$6
were
million. It was
paying him
well
premium.
above. Yeah, I mean, you're paying him premium running back position.
but there's no backup plan for him.
Who cares? It's a fullback. Raise your hand if you have a fullback. Oh, put your hand down. Yeah, exactly. Welcome to the NFL, Trev. You'll be fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I'm playing Trev Stadamus here.
We trust the Dom.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, this draft indicates to me that there are going to be changes made for the offense going forward.
Good.
Instead of the offense that we have been running, we're going to be running more of the McVay kind of style. We're hoping that Parasol or Cowing, who we got in the 4th round,
Okay.
are going to be our Cooper Cup. We're going to run more 3 sets going forward.
It's very surprising you
Because we don't run a lot of slot, and to take 2 wide receivers that probably project more as slot receivers.
Hey, bro. Get rid of use check.
Hey.
Get rid of use check. Put a 3rd goddamn wide receiver out there on the field and watch it happen. Like, come on. That's the modern NFL. I don't want to shit on Kyle Juszczyk, and I love me a good old school fullback, but
it's
that's
kind
not
of-
what the game is.
Yeah, but that's kind of part of their success though is you zig when other teams zag.
Sure, but like how many yards does Juszczyk have over the last 3 years?
It's not always just him receiving; it's more his blocking game that
So you want to run an offset power eye? Is that it?
I'm saying
or like,
that our offensive line actually hasn't been that good.
no, I agree with that too.
And having him blocking has made
Okay.
our run game better than it's.
I will not
Other
disagree with
teams
that. I
have-
cannot. I
have
cannot.
played. So,
But I don't disagree with the tonal shift that potentially the Niners might be making here.
well,
In
that's-
fact, I want it to fail. I want it
I'm
to
sure
burn
you
to the
do.
ground miserably.
But when I look at this draft, we drafted 2 wide receivers.
Zach
and
is
a
clear
draft,
mid. Hard thumb over there.
A draft
Hard
that was
thumb.
heavy as far as depth at that position.
Favorite pick of
What do
theirs
you
is
like
favorite pick is the 4th round Isaiah Garando. I love that kid out of Louisville, the running back. I obviously think Ricky Pearsall's high. Ronaldo Green is probably all right there. Pooney's all right there. I just give it mid. The Pearsall pick, I loved a lot of other people other than Pearsall.
I love getting the Niners fan view of it because that is legit, coming from somebody who's digging deep and wanting the system to work. And I can get all of the angles that you're getting at. I like the idea of upgrading that offense because it's not to say that it hasn't been efficient, but good God, you're the second to last in 3 wide receiver formats. It's because you didn't have a WR3. You weren't even close last year to having a WR3.
Yeah, and Jennings was our slot, and I think he's someone that could play on the outside.
You didn't
receivers
trust
that we
him
drafted
necessarily.
could play more in that inside. Kittle, of course, injury concerns, getting older. Anytime that he takes a play off, or Kyle takes a play off, or maybe Debo needs a rest, that these new fresh receivers, these rookie receivers, are going to get some more snaps than maybe they would normally get on Kyle's team. And with the rest of the picks, like Ronaldo Green, I thought maybe we would look at a offensive tackle at that spot since we didn't take one in the first pick.
Because you're going to
But
have to replace Williams eventually.
Before Green got picked, Patrick Paul went off at 55. Blake Fisher went off at 59. Rosengarten went off at 62. Sachamaro 63. Like, there isn't, I think for value-wise, the way the draft fell, that it made a lot more sense for us to go Green. I really like him.
Okay.
As far as, I think he's going to play right away at nickel. I think he could be an outside guy if maybe we lose Ward in the future, because I think Lenore is coming on. I think he got underrated because of how bad our secondary was because of how he was moving around. And Thomas didn't really play out. Luter had injury issues. Like, I'm thinking this secondary is going to be a lot more physical coming into this next season. After that, Pooney, I thought was a great pick. In the 3rd round, we traded up to make that pick. He most likely is projected at guard. We had, I'm looking at the offensive line.
Where you at, Trev?
And,
give me a grade.
I'm just saying,
he's talking himself into it. Give me a grade.
Pooney's
Medium down or up, brother?
Look, bro, I love Pooney, okay? I love Pooney in all capacities.
I bet you do. I'm going thumbs up.
Okay,
I think there's a lot of potential with this class. Our first 4th round pick, Mustafa, that safety is he's a homing missile to make a tackle. This guy maybe not the best in man coverage, but as far as
He gonna kill
tackling
somebody.
and angles, he's a John Lynch safety.
Okay. Well, then your boy will know where to draft him.
Oh man, you guys are giving me a lot of shit, but I'm looking at this class compared to the last year's
Trev,
class. This class is much more athletic.
All we're saying to you is that you're trying to buy in actively. You're trying to talk yourself into that thumbs up as this pod is going
I'm
on.
not giving you any shit. I'm just laughing.
He's giving
I
you
hear you laughing,
non-verbal
and
shit.
I'm
It's
trying
not
to
that-
give you
it's-
the broader picture here of what
It's your homework. That,
It's the fandom. It's why it's the fandom.
That's why it's
it's
the
your
fandom.
it's your
though.
homework that you've
Absolutely.
I went in deep to try and figure out why these picks were made, and this is what I came up with at least.
done. So did you like it or did you not like it?
Honestly.
Honestly.
Honestly, I was a bit surprised
Honestly.
we didn't get a true tackle in this draft.
Still thumbs up?
That was the one position, like Kivitz, I think he gave up the most sacks, gave up the most pressures. Was that a product of who was playing next to him because we had that rotation, because if guard play had been bad and center play hadn't been much better? Or is that because,
I love it.
you know...
That's that deep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that there's still some improvement to be made there. It's still a weak
Yeah, you better
spot
hope there's
on the
improvement.
team. Definitely.
Man, fuck the Niners. They've made the goddamn Super Bowl.
All right, I'll finish it off.
Let's go, Raiders. And I don't say that lightly, okay?
Pick number 13,
I'm sorry,
we took
Trev.
Brock Bowers.
You know I got nothing but love for you.
In the second round, we took Jackson Powers Johnson, the guard / center out of Oregon. Third round, DeMar Glaze, offensive tackle. Fourth round, DeCamerion Richardson. Fifth round, Tommy Eichenberg. Sixth round, Deline Lube.
How
Seventh
were
round,
you
Trey
shocked?
Taylor,
How shocked were you
and
by Brock
seventh
Bowers?
round, MG Devonshire.
How shocked were you at Brock Bowers at 13?
So here's what I understand picking best player forward. If you want to say out of the first two picks of every team, we are up there with.
No, we're
the
talking
best.
about the
Hold
13th
on,
overall.
little.
You would call
Mr.
me. You
Cheesy?
wanted to call me a little shit.
Yeah. Hold on, Mr.
I'm
Cheesy.
a grown man.
Between you could rate on
I'm
the
a
first two
regular
picks
size shit.
up with everybody else's first two picks as being two of the top picks in the whole draft.
Okay.
At 13, you could have had Fatanu out of Washington or Funagu out of Oregon State and absolutely locked up the right side of your line for how many ever years.
The biggest need at your
I
team.
think Brock Bowers is going to be amazing, and I hope he is, because if he doesn't hit, it is a miss on the draft, and then the whole draft relies on him because the right tackle position was open and available with two really good tackles.
Solid first-round grade tackles.
That finish your draft, because in the second pick, Powers Johnson is an amazing pick at guard. So right now, if you look at our line, you have Colton Miller, Parnham, who we drafted 2 years ago, which was one of McDaniel's only good picks. James, who's one of Gruden's only half decent things at center, and then you put Powers there. If you would have put Fatanu or Powers or Funuagu out of Oregon State there, you were talking about a line that goes with those cowboy lines a couple years ago, where you were just driving it down people's fucking throats. The right tackle position still maybe is in question. We did sign the Saints Pete guy that was taken. Glaze is still there, and Munford's still
Andres
there.
Pete?
Yes. So we still have depth at the position. It's just the fact that I think Brock Bowers could be Rookie of the Year. But we could get sacked a bunch on that side. So there is this there's this upside of if we're good and Brock Bowers is catching passes and getting touchdowns, it's huge, right? We have right now, if you look on paper, if you take the right tackle off of the paper, which is a huge piece to take off the paper, we match up with every team from offensive line receiver wise up. It is Brock Bowers, Mayer, 2 tight end sets with Adams, Myers, and Trey Tucker as a speed guy. That is a lot of promise, but not having that right tackle is a huge. I would have been fine right tackle and then having Mayer start next to you.
You know what's crazy is I actually watched a little mini documentary about the most recent tight ends taken in the first round back to, I think it was 2007 or 2008. Literally all of the mainstays at tight end these days are not first round picks.
Yep. And I like Mayer. So I love Brock Bowers. And people he one of the best players in the draft. If he hits, home run draft.
The grade was high for sure.
If he hits, home run draft. If he's out catching touchdown passes, all that, it's a home run draft. The third round pick's
Got to
a
keep
fucking
your
miss.
quarterback upright. Got to keep your quarterback
The
upright.
third round pick's not miss.
Yeah, I think that was
Glaze,
a big
you could have
potential-
taken at like the 7th round. You
The
could have had the
7th
kid.
round.
You could have had the kid the Colts took that we already talked about. There's other tackles there, and you could have had TJ Tampa there.
I do like your 4th and 5th.
From 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th round, you fucking hit it out of the park. You killed it with Richardson. I know you have to. He's a little bit developmental, but you also have Bennett, the kid from Maryland. You can get those guys to roll. You have now a really good defensive backfield size-wise. 6'2", 6'1". 6'2" in Richardson, 6'1" in Bennett. Then you go in Eichenberg. He's only a 2-down linebacker. Doesn't matter. You took him in the fucking 5th round. He's breaking heads. He's stopping runs. He's not playing on 3rd down. Oh, well. He took him in the 5th round. Then you come with the kid from New Hampshire, the running back. He's 3rd down running back all day long. He's catching passes. That kid is going to kill it. Safety out of Air Force. He home run hit. He might not start, but he's definitely backing up Morik and Epps. He is right there in that lineup. And then Devin Shower is going to be a great. He's a definite good rotation player.
So you a
at
thumbs
Pitt.
up?
I'm a thumbs up because I love 2, and from there on. And if Bowers hits, it's a complete home run. The only pick I don't love is Glaze, and I kind of sideways on Bowers. Otherwise, it's a home run.
So for me, I like a lot of the picks for the Raiders. The concern, though, is the most important position.
Right tackle.
No, quarterback.
I don't know.
You're good with Minshew.
I think
and
I think
O'Connell.
O'Connell starts.
Well, I look at both of those quarterbacks, and I see that that's not going to be enough.
It's
in the
not.
AFC
It's not
West.
winning you a Super Bowl, but it's good enough to start winning games. So when the dude comes,
Ceiling is 10.
right? Yes, correct. But that's it. And I think the floor is not like 4. I think the floor is like 8
7.
to 7.
7.
Correct.
I'll give you a 7.
I think we're
floor.
right there. I think if Aiden O'Connell does pop, if you can protect him, we saw the arm strength. We saw what he can do at quarterback. He's not moving. He's not running. I think he's got to be the dude
That's
that
true.
takes
That
the
is
snaps.
only okay. All right.
I think we've seen the upside and we've seen the low side.
I'm gonna give it a mid because I hate that tight end over the tackle pick. I was preaching offensive line coming into this fucking draft.
And there was 2 there that
the
were
premium was fucking there. You drafted Mayer last year.
and you could've-
I get it, but I'm right here. I won't give it a down because they did a lot of good.
If you
but
would have taken one of those 2 tackles and then Powers Johnson in the 3rd pick,
thumbs the fuck up.
and then the 3rd pick did
no,
whatever.
those 2 would have finished it for me.
with
like,
cornerback down, you would have it
I
absolutely.
was
A++.
higher on Powers Johnson than either of you guys. I thought he might have been back in first.
But
so
I liked that it was the guard pick and not the center pick.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I'm right there because it's
No, I
not
hear
that
you.
I'm low on Bowers. It's just not what the NFL is today.
Yeah,
It's just not.
And then, but if he comes out and kills it, it's
Well, yeah, then I'll have to eat a turd sandwich.
No,
for
I'm just
sure.
saying it's this thing where you're like, if Bowers kills it, it's home run. If he doesn't kill it, it's a mid. But if it's, I'm giving it this because I think that we're gonna.
And the fandom should.
Yep.
I'm right there with you. It's between high and mid for me. Again, it just comes back to the quarterback position. It feels like getting that guy, the guys that you have on that roster are. Next season is a punt for next season.
I love that we didn't reach for that.
No, you didn't make a stupid draft.
yes.
And I
None
love
of them were stupid
because if
you
you reach,
didn't trade for Bowers.
right, because,
like
if you
he
reach,
just fell to you.
But then if you reach and you blow the quarterback pick, then you give away more draft.
Then you're bonus.
We built we built draft capital or not. We built the team from 2. I know I don't like the Glaze pick. From the rest of that, that's great team building. Trading up to get in there, maybe you lose Richardson and Eichenberg or whatever, and you don't get those guys this year. So I think I love that not reaching was the if Penix fell, you take Penix at 13.
But
I like that. I love not jumping up. To
I
trade
guess
extra
all
stuff for.
3 of us get to say we liked our draft, right?
Yeah, I probably lean a little bit more thumbs up than mid thumb for the Raiders.
I'm still mid thumb for the Raider, just because that first one confuses me.
Keep your eye out for all the NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs going on.
We didn't touch anything about the MLB.
There's nothing much.
Well,
We'll
you
wait.
know, we're only 40 games in, but the Mariners are right there. So
A's
it's
are
important.
playing good ball too. Shout out to the
We're
players.
gonna go
not
to
the owner.
Sacramento to watch him in a fucking AAA.
Shout
part.
out the players, not the fucking
I know.
organization.
I'm sorry because I can't shit on you. It hurts
Yeah,
my heart.
it's only the players are
It
playing good,
does.
man.
No, I
Fuck
know.
the organization, man. Fuck that organization.
Oh man, that's true.
5,000
right
fucking
there.
stands, bro. 5,000 motherfuckers in the stands lately.
Yeah, they got outsold by it was like I saw the
Did I say that?
303
Yeah.
or some shit. Other professional organizations
100%.
outsold the A's. Like
Check us out Instagram, X. Listen to us on
Spotify,
YouTube.
Buzzsprout, YouTube for the visuals, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna hit the last 16 teams for the draft,
Did
right?
you see that? How did
Nope.
that happen?
How did that happen? Cheers to you. We'll come back with Pod 60.